Let's do it. Perfect. Now, let's talk about a difference between rule-based trading and discretionary trading. So, if I talk about rule-based trading, so rule-based trading simply means that there are certain definite set of rules which you can follow to take trades, where you can say that mark the high and low of the first 1 hour, and if the high is taken out, you go long. If the low is taken out, you go short. So here things are rule-based. Now I'm not saying this is not a strategy, I'm just giving you an example, right, of what is rule-based trading. Correct. Now there the success ratio is high. Correct. Reason being that here, I mean, I'm talking about a general success ratio, right? Not like a definite thing. So here, like in failure rate is less because here emotions involved are less. For example, even what you did, right, until now, whatever you're doing, it is rule based only for some reason, right? For example, let's say you select stocks, like you make a watch list based on RSI, correct, and then out of that you filter stocks based on any level which has been tested multiple times, correct, and your entry trigger is the nearest retracement. For example, अगर यहाँ पे stock close हुआ है और आपको मालूम है ये support 2-3 बार test हो चुका है, then this is your area to short. But here what we are trying to do as well is that we are manually looking at stocks and trying to draw our levels. Now at times you will see that your trend line or your support and resistance is going to be different from the person in the group, correct, and this is a general thing which happens, but as you do it on a regular basis, you will get a hang of it. Everything, right, is rule based. Even in this case, you're looking for stocks which are in high momentum, then you look for stocks which are testing a support multiple times, and then if any level is triggered, you look for a buy or sell position, correct. In reversal trading, yes, it is not rule based, it cannot be rule based for all of you, right, but in breakout trading, even in this system, it is rule based. Clear? I hope you're getting me. So here there are set of rules which you follow, and you are taking care of those rules in order to take a trade or exit a trade. Clear? Let's move forward now, right, and continue with some of the points about rule trading, I mean rule based trading. Here most efforts are required during backtesting and much less thinking. So today also we are going to go through backtesting. I'll be sharing you some backtesting report and you can go through it. So here no most efforts they are required during backtesting and much less thinking during the live market. So here what you do, for example, based on a system that you have learned, which you're going to learn today as well, what you will do. Now again, this is also one thing which only 5% people do, right? I'm not kidding. I'm telling you because I know it, right? So backtesting is what, let's say we learn something and you put that on historical charts and you understand the system. For example, did anyone over here watch the video which I had shared of Manu sir? I'm sure majority of you must have, because I was shared in the group, and this is something which you should have watched by today at least, right? So in that video, we he talks about something called system hopping. Can someone please raise your hand and tell me more about what was it on system trading? Can you please raise your hand? Saksham or Gaurav or Ashvi, anyone?
Hello.
Yeah.
So every system has a drawdown pattern. If you hop the system after one or two trades go wrong,
correct,
then you might be missing the next winning trades of the system.
Correct. Yeah. So why does that happen? For example, let's say today I tell you that there is a fake breakout strategy which we are going to learn in the second half. You may start with it, but let's say you stop doing it. Is it going to help you? See, one thing I'll tell you, do not start a system because you have learned it from me. Again, I'm telling you, start a system only if you have back tested it and forward tested it. If अगर आप में से जो लोग ये सोच रहे हो कि मैं मंडे से ट्रेड करना शुरू कर लूंगा या नेक्स्ट वीक से आई एम गोइंग टू स्टार्ट ट्रेडिंग इन माय फुल क्वांटिटी, you are absolutely wrong, because in trading a lot of effort is required in how you are prepared to take the trade. Are you getting me? How you are prepared? For example, if you're preparation is good, you will feel much more convinced to punch an order. For example, one of the system which I follow, I know it has a losing streak of 5 and a hit rate of 7 trades. So whenever, for example, currently I'm having a losing streak of 3 days in that system. So I know it's okay because I know ये past में मुझे 5 बार लगातार, and which I've gone through in my real account. So I am prepared. So if you're not prepared with a trading system, you are not going to be able to trade fearlessly, right? You will never be able to scale up. Discretionary trading जो होती है ना, इसमें आप scale up नहीं कर सकते. क्यों? Because इसमें आपने कोई back test नहीं किया है. Here you are taking trades based on your understanding of the market, which can be biased, right? A lot of times, correct? यार इतना नीचे गिर गया, अब और कितना नीचे जाएगा, right? Biasness does come in the market, right? It comes to us also, comes to everyone. But this biasness cannot be back tested, and henceforth it is very difficult to scale. And note one thing, the analysis that we do, it's not necessary that we may trade it, because the analysis you do is just for the purpose of understanding. But next day, if your setup does not play out, you don't take that trade. So there is a clear difference between taking a trade and, I mean, analyzing a trade and then taking a trade, right? Here success ratio is very good. Further, rule based trading involves much lesser trading mistakes. रूल बेस्ड ट्रेडिंग में होगा क्या, आपकी ट्रेडिंग मिस्टेक्स कम होगी. इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि आपको नुकसान नहीं होंगे. अगर नुकसान भी होगा, it will be a controlled loss and you will be in control of the result. Here, like, it's very, here the chances of blowing up on, okay, so nobody blows their account by following the rule based. So I've never seen anyone blowing their account because they were following a system. Correct? एक system follow कर रहे हैं, वो कभी अपना account blow नहीं करते. What is system? I won't be taking more than 2 trades a day. This is my entry trigger, this is my stop loss, right? And this is the instrument which I'm trading. So overall आपने एक plan बना दिया है. You think you can ever blow up your account? What is the meaning of blowing up your account? Your account becomes like 50% down, 60% down. Is that possible? If you follow certain rules, something like I'm not going to risk more than 1% in intraday, 5% position sizing in positional trading. So a lot of people say, sir, you know, in positional trading, one stock fell by 70%, but you don't realize that there was another stock which went 5x, 6x. And I'm telling you, stocks like BEML, pre-call, one of them is going to certainly, you know, give you 3x returns. I mean, उसमें से देगा, मुझे मालूम है ना. I mean, experience tells me out of 4 or 5 stocks, one of the stock which you have in your portfolio is going to give you 4 or 5x return, which is very natural, which happens in the stock market. So you know it. It's very important that you know any system which you're following. Correct? Chances of over trading are next to impossible. System trader एक over trading नहीं करता है. For example, आज जो हम system 2 strategy हम लोग आज सीखते हैं, उसमें से एक strategy आपको पूरे महीने में, I'm not kidding, पूरे महीने में बैंक निफ्टी में 5 ट्रेड देता है. दूसरा सिस्टम जो है वो आपको पूरे महीने में 7 ट्रेड देता है. ठीक है? अब आप इसमें से कोई, आप कैसे भी ट्रेड करना, I mean, you know, whichever way you may get started, but you will realize that over trading is not possible. Correct? Over trading is not possible. अब इसको मैं आपको एक सिंपल तरीके से I will be explaining this to you. I hope you understand that. Right? Just one second. Okay, what is this? One second, guys. Some problem. Actually, I have some here in my office. The only problem is that we're not able to change the lights. So that is again one issue, that's why you see less light over here. And even in my videos, we are changing it. Let's see when it is done. Any which ways. So let's go to Nifty Bank on a 5 minutes time frame. Right. Let's say you are an intraday trader. Okay. And you know, let's say everybody marks their support resistance in a different way, right? Someone would mark it like this, someone would mark it like this, someone would mark it something like this. Clear? So you mark your support and resistance something like this. Then over here, what this does is that you may end up doing a bit of over trading. किसके साथ ऐसा हुआ है? You know, 4-5 trade किया है because you drew random lines on the chart. It happens a lot. Correct. It happens a lot and to a lot of people. So if you are able to just reduce the number of trades from taking, let's say 30 to 40 trades in a month, if you're able to bring it down to 10 trades a month, let's assume, you will see that difference. आपको एक छोटा difference दिखेगा, where you will be able to generate some consistent return on your investment, right? But that will happen when your number of trades actually come down. So here what usually happens is that, now again, I'm not saying that this does not work, right? A lot of people are good at doing discretionary trading, which simply means that, where you're understanding candle by candle. For example, यहाँ पे समझो ये एक W pattern बन गया, ठीक है? Just I'm just explaining you, right? यहाँ पे एक W pattern बन गया इधर, ठीक है? You have a W pattern over here. Then let's go back there. Here there is a trend line breakout, correct? And here this is again a triple top. इसको आप जो नाम देना है दे दो, right? Let's go back over here. So very simple. Let's just go one by one. Over here, you would have marked this as a resistance. You would have taken a trade over here. Your stop loss, you would have triggered your stop loss. This was a trend line. You would have taken your trade over here. This would have given you a good trade. Again, let's go back. This is again a good W pattern. This would have given you a good trade. Let's go back. So I'm trying to tell you what happens in like when we are trading something like this. Okay, over here, let's say this was a support which you would have marked. You would have taken a trade over here. This would have been the stop, and this would have given you decent RR. Again, you saw that the market is giving you a good W formation. You would have taken a trade over here. Then there was also a ये ऐसे करके एक ट्रेंड लाइन का ब्रेकआउट था, राइट? वी आर जस्ट सीइंग कि क्या क्या होता है ट्रेडिंग में. what will it be called when we trade pattern? This is patterns only, right? This is you cannot call it simply rule based. You need to have, for example, this here you are trading when this particular high is taken out. Second, you take a trade when this particular double bottom is in formation. Again, if you go, this is called again a double top, right? Something like this. So let's do one thing. Let's have 5 traders over here and let's see the opportunities which you can do. Okay, I'm allowing you to annotate, right? All of you can annotate now. So any 5 people, right? You can unmute yourself as well. What do you see on the chart? Let's say let's go over here. वहां पे आपको क्या क्या दिख रहा है? What are the possible trades that you could have thought of going for? You can unmute now. Everyone, you can unmute yourself. And you can annotate on the screen. One person, for example, Saksham, Gaurav, Ashvi, Asim, Zoom. Right. What do you see? You can also unmute yourself. Vikas, सिर्फ draw मत करिए.
Hello.
Yeah.
So the last day it was forming a tight consolidation at the end.
Correct.
So today opened a gap down. Okay. So I'll be biased towards short side.
Okay.
Because a lot of buyers would have been trapped in that.
Correct.
So after a retracement, I would wait for a M pattern on a shorter time frame or a day low breakout.
Okay. Correct. Okay. Apart from that, anybody else? Ashvi, please remove this.
Yeah, hi sir. Shivam this side.
Yeah. So you can annotate on the screen, or you can tell me where to annotate.
Yeah. So, so from looking at the chart, from I think in the last day it was consolidating in a very tight range, and next.
Okay, over here. Okay, over here.
Over here, right?
Yes.
So, and next day when it opened gap down, so obviously the same thing that buyers got trapped. But the good trade was that it got a retracement till the previous day low also.
Okay.
So previous day low act as a good resistance, and
and it also has a EMA in place, right?
Yeah, right. So and it also give a it is kind of a scalping entry also till the days, so we can expect the market to go down.
Okay. And then probably this was something like, and for here you had this some top of, like, I'm just assuming, right? Anybody else?
It is inverted head and shoulder also.
Correct. A lot of things. We are just talking, right? How traders think. And those who are new to the markets, don't worry. We are just
And
Discussing.
I mean,
Whatever
just
you have
saying
learned
that,
based on until now, this is that only, right? We're just discussing possibilities of how traders think in the live market,
yeah,
right? Let's
I'm
go
just
back.
explaining, sir. The same thing you draw the inverted head and shoulder. I didn't took the I didn't took the entry which is I mean, I took the same entry which you just draw, which you just draw.
Over here,
I took the
right?
same entry.
Over here.
Yeah, yeah.
Correct, correct.
I took the same entry.
Okay, that's great. Anybody else over here who thinks something can be done over here?
Harshita this side.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, sir. On 14th, we are seeing a supply side trend line.
This 14th?
14th, right?
Okay, yeah.
In the morning, we are seeing a supply side trend line
This
here.
one?
This, I do not-
You can annotate on the screen if you want, or you can just tell me the levels.
How do I do that?
Okay, that's not a problem. Can you tell me the levels?
14 to 11:15 here.
Okay.
This trend line is then we are getting a breakout on this trend line around 12 o'clock.
Okay.
That can
This
be
one.
our entry point, and the
Okay.
swing low can be the.
But don't you think your trend line would be very steep?
It is.
Yeah. Okay. No problem. So
It has been tested multiple times. So
Okay.
that would
Fine.
give us a confirmation.
Fine. But yeah, okay. Chalo.
And stop would also be small.
Chalo, theek hai. That is also not a problem. So you are saying there is a trend line breakup. Perfect, not a problem. Over here, what is your view? I mean, we are talking about end of the day analysis that we are doing. Kya lag raha hai yahan pe kya ho raha hai?
Sideways over here.
Sideways? Any opportunity? I mean, see, right now you're seeing sideways, but in the live market, you think because this was also a trend line for you, if that was a trend line.
Right.
Suraj.
Correct. This was also a trend line for you, if that was a trend line.
If you are a range trader, then you can find an
Scalp
opportunity.
around.
Right.
Let's again go back. Let's have a look at this chart. What you would have done on this day?
On 10th, you're saying.
Yeah, this one.
So here it has given us a support retest around noon. So that would be a good entry point.
Around day low.
Day low.
Okay. Apart from that, would you have taken entry over here because this was a resistance
The trend line here.
tested multiple times?
Right.
Correct. And then again, I cannot draw much of the trend lines over here, but let's assume, right? Let's go back to something else.
सर प्रीवियस डे लो भी टूटा था इसमें तो
बहुत चीजें मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ, बहुत चीजें। आप यहाँ पे आ जाओ एक सेकंड यार। यहाँ पे ये क्या दिख रहा है? यहाँ पे आप क्या कर लेते हो? यहाँ पे इस तरह आप देख रहे हैं एक रेंज,
ये हाई को अपना ब्रेक करेगा, डे हाई को।
ये इस तरह एक रेंज बन गया, रीटेस्ट भी दे दिया,
और
ब्रेकआउट।
यहाँ पे एक ट्रायंगल पैटर्न भी बन सकते हैं
हाँ, ट्रायंगल पैटर्न
स्टार्टिंग
बन रहा है। चलो वो तो एक फिक्स है। यहाँ पे अगर हम चले जाते हैं तो यहाँ पे आपको क्या दिख रहा है? आप ये समझो कि ये आफ्टर मार्केट ही देख रहे हैं हम, इसमें कुछ अभी रॉकेट साइंस की बात नहीं कर। इसको एक ट्रेंड लाइन बोल सकते हैं सब,
राइट? यस।
ठीक है, जैसा आप बता रहे थे अभी साक्षी, राइट?
हर्षिता।
हाँ हर्षिता, ठीक है। तो आप इसको एक ट्रेंड लाइन बता के इसको ट्रेड कर सकते हो, ठीक है?
सर फिबोनाची रिट्रेसमेंट भी यूज कर सकते हैं।
हाँ, आपकी सब बात सही है। मैं तो हम खाली एक बात कर रहे हैं। तो इसमें आप क्या करते हैं? इसमें आपको इस तरह कुछ मिला नहीं होता। चलो इसको देख लीजिए आप। इसमें हर्षिता के आप इस ट्रेंड लाइन को ट्रेड करते हैं, यहाँ पे जो ये ब्रेकआउट हुआ है?
सर इस ट्रेंड लाइन को यस मैं करती
राइट। बट इसमें चलो अभी हमने इतनी सारी बातें कर ली, वी हैव स्पोकन सो मच। यहाँ पे अगर आप देख लो तो ये क्या, ये तो एक सपोर्ट था जो इधर टूट गया, तो ऑब्वियसली आपको एक अच्छा ट्रेड यहाँ पे मिल जाता। क्लियर होगा? यहाँ पे एक दिक्कत क्या लग रही है आप सबको? व्हाट इज वन प्रॉब्लम व्हिच व्हाट डू यू सी इट इज? A lot of you would have seen it.
बहुत सारे ट्रेड दिख रहे हैं।
ओके
सर बहुत दिख रहे हैं पर वो है नहीं।
ओके,
मल्टीपल ओपिनियंस एक सिस्टम होगा तो ज्यादा
फिक्स नहीं है।
चांसेस ऑफ ओवर ट्रेडिंग थोड़े हाई है।
अवॉइड ओवर ट्रेडिंग
के चांस थोड़े हाई है, सब चीजें ठीक है। एंड स्पेशली अगर बैंक निफ्टी को अगर आप ओवर ट्रेड कर लो, इफ यू डू ओवर ट्रेडिंग इन बैंक निफ्टी, व्हाट सर्टेनली कैन हैपन? आई मीन इट्स ऑप्शंस, blowing up account is very easy. But does it mean that what we are doing is wrong, or it's not correct?
It is correct.
It's correct, but what it needs is a lot of discipline and mastery required in the live market. We are talking about right now we're talking all of us right now we're talking about after market hours, right? It looks now this trend line breakouts and everything looks much easier. Now I'll tell you how it actually looks in the live market. Right, let us have a look at that also. I know we are going a little off topic, but आपको थोड़ा इसमें आपको एक idea मिलेगा how markets behave in the live market. Okay, so let's go and let's do that as well. This is my premium account, so I'll be able to. Okay, so let's go and let's do Nifty Bank again. Let's go on a 5 minutes time. Correct. Now, let's see. This is bar replay शायद यहीं से होता है ना, every 3 seconds. Okay. Now, this is how the day is playing out. Correct. I'm gonna start it. It opens with a gap down. Okay. It opens with a gap down. Okay, let's go to Nifty only. You know, I'll just pause the screen share once, right? So that you cannot see it much. No. Okay. So now I have resumed the share. First of all, okay, we're doing it 5 seconds. What do you think is your view? This is the market. Everyone, can you see the screen? Is the screen visible?
Yes.
Yeah. This is Nifty's chart. Okay. Now, if be little true to yourself and as a chart mat dekho, don't look at the chart. Abhi jo real chart hai. Don't. What does it seem like over here? It has opened with a gap down. So you will what you will do in live market in most cases?
We'll wait for some time.
You'll wait for some time, obviously. No, I mean at least one thing we have understood is that at least there should be some bit of retracement. And you कोई level break ही नहीं कर रहा. If it was breaking a resistance, you could have thought of going. Okay, let's say what happened.
Gap down भी था इसलिए.
हाँ, अभी देखते हैं ना क्या हो रहा है. Okay, so we have another candle which is a green candle in place. Okay, let's play it out. Okay, so it's going right. No price action yet. How does it seem waiting? First of all, just see right now in the live market, every candle is going to be of 5 minutes. Here, we are looking at every candle for 5 seconds. How long is each candle? And still you see, we are getting little impatient. Okay, I'll tell you. Now just check your patience level. Right, how long this plays out. What you will do in this case?
We have an entry. We can see a possible entry, but there's a problem of that moving average as a.
It's not the okay. Right now you're saying it, but I'll tell you in most cases what will happen. Most people will go for a gap filling. Correct?
True.
There is a gap.
Yes, correct. Good morning.
Sorry.
Yes, sir, correct. You're correct.
Correct. I know. See again. I know most people over here will go for gap filling.
गैप
That is
फिलिंग
one
रेड
trade which
कैंडल का
happened.
ब्रेकआउट भी हुआ है तो उसके लिए भी लोग जाएंगे.
Correct. सब ये red candle बहुत strong था इसका high because these were again even I would have taken a long trade over here because the sellers over here were very aggressive. But because I don't trade Nifty,
I also have taken.
correct.
सर बट प्रीवियस डे लो का उधर रेजिस्टेंस है और मूविंग एवरेज का
लेकिन उसने उसको भी ले लिया. ठीक है.
If I'm not wrong, this is the RCBO setup also, right?
Correct. Yeah. Correct. Correct. Right. But again over here we'll just go forward. Right. Let's just go one by one. Okay, now you see it's also broken the moving average. Now things change. Your mind starts to trick. Okay,
Yes.
the trade may move in my favor, but then there is a fake big round. Not yet, but let's see what happens. Not yet. Okay, so what will happen over here? First of all, what will you feel? It's a retest.
Yes.
So those who did not take a trade over here, they may take a trade over here. Am I correct?
Yes.
So they will have their stop loss below this level. Okay. So
Yes,
let's
sir.
say there was a retest trader who took a trade over here. Let's go back. Okay. Now even this particular retest trader is trapped. His stop loss, it's near his stop loss, I would say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So now this guy is trapped. Now what
Trap.
traders may think? Okay, this was a fake breakdown. What was this? A fake breakout. So there are people who trade fake breakouts, so they would have shorted over here, and overall the trend is down. Think, okay, I'm just telling you how people think in the live market, and it's all right. This is how discretionary trading is done, where you are analyzing the market tick by tick. You see that the market opened with a gap down. You see that the buyers tried to go higher, but they failed. So their stop loss is getting triggered at this point. So they will short over here, right? Let's say this is their stop loss. I'm assuming, right? Over here, let's go. I'm going to short the position over here. यहाँ पे हम इसको थोड़ा सा stop loss को यहाँ रखिए, ठीक है? Now let's again play it, and let's say this is your target, correct? Because this is the nearest swing. ये आपका nearest swing है, तो आपने target रख दिया. वापस हम जाते हैं, देखते क्या होता है. Okay, are you getting that level of patience? समझ में आ रहा है? We are talking about
Yes, sir.
each candle being 5 seconds, and look at look at the impatience that we are like, हमारे दिमाग में चल रहा है यार, मेरे दिमाग में चल रहा है, सेशन लंबा तो नहीं होता है, आपके दिमाग में चल रहा होगा यार, क्या कर रहे हैं अपन, समझ में आ रहा है? Again, and and consider this: you are working, and every candle is 5 minutes, and M2M is actually changing right in front of you. How you, okay, it's kind of just came near your target, but it's not done much. It's not like, with वहाँ पे आया नहीं.
How the excitement level बढ़ जाता है.
Right? बढ़ जाएगा. अब देखो, अभी एक green candle आ रही है. There is a green candle also coming. Oh, what? So now suddenly it's come to your this thing. What do you say? Okay.
Entry point.
Yeah. So, अब वापस यहाँ पे एक rejection आ गया EM पे. So again you will feel
Profit
okay, fine.
booking सोच रहे हैं हम लोग.
अब आपको क्या लगेगा? अच्छा, shit. अब मैं क्या करूँ इस टाइम पे? Correct.
जितना मिल गया उतना ले लूं.
Yeah.
ऐसा भी आता है इस टाइम पे.
ये आपके साथ होने वाला है मार्केट में, ठीक है? This all is going to happen. But ये चीज हम कितना बैक टेस्ट कर सकते हैं, नहीं कर सकते, हम उसको भी समझेंगे. डोंट वरी. ओके, स्टॉप लॉस नहीं खाया इसने. इट डिड नॉट टेक योर स्टॉप लॉस. इट इज रिस्पेक्टिंग योर लेवल. इसने एक्चुअली यहाँ पे एक रीटेस्ट भी दे दिया आपको. इट हैज गिवन यू रीटेस्ट. लेट्स सी व्हाट इज हैपनिंग. नाउ लुक एट, ओके, हम नाउ हियर वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट जस्ट 30 seconds while we are talking, but कितना टाइम स्पेंड हो चुका है अपनी एंट्री के बाद? 10:10 से लेके 11:40. How much is that?
Approx 2 hours.
1 hour 30 minutes. 1 hour 30 minutes. Let it play. देखते क्या होता है, ठीक है?
ये भाई ये मिस्टेक्स मैं पिछले अपने कुछ ट्रेड्स में कर चुका हूँ. As you said, मैं एक साथ कई सारी चीजें कर रहा हूँ.
हाँ, मतलब वो होती है. मैं बोल रहा हूँ, अभी देखो अब क्या हुआ यहाँ पे. ये इज गोइंग टू गो हायर, राइट? एंड अब आपको ही मालूम है क्या होना है. थोड़ा सा स्पीड बढ़ा रहा हूँ. सी, इवन आई एम गेटिंग लिटिल इम्पेशेंट ऑलरेडी, बिकॉज
Yes.
I also have a time limit. Okay, and this takes your
Stop loss.
stop loss. Okay, let's assume this takes your stop loss. Logic wise सब correct है, but this has taken your stop loss. Okay, now after the stop loss is taken, what you will do in most cases? आप देखोगे, अच्छा ये एक resistance था जहां से आप sell कर सकते थे. Clear? Is my logic clear? You think, okay, even though my stop loss is gone, this is a resistance which I can take. Now what would anybody else would have thought? Anybody else who has a different opinion over here, you can unmute yourself. Now I'm going to remove this over here. मैं इसको
Triangle breakout.
एक सेकेंड. हाँ, मैं इसको यहाँ से रिमूव करता हूँ. आपको लगता नहीं है there will be a bullish trader who would have gone long over here?
W pattern.
W pattern लिया होता उसने यहाँ पे भाई.
Yes.
एक कोई ट्रेडर हो सकता है ना, उसने इसको एक बेस फॉर्मेशन लिया होगा जो आपने स्विंग ट्रेडिंग में सीखा है.
मैंने लिया था सर ये ट्रेड W pattern.
भाई आपने लिया था ना, मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ. आई एम जस्ट टेलिंग यू हाउ ट्रेडिंग हैपेंस इन द लाइव मार्केट. एंड जिसने यहाँ पे नुकसान किया होगा ना, जबकि उसने नुकसान, उसका ट्रेड उसके फेवर में गया है. एज फार एज स्कैल्पिंग किया होता तो his trade has gone in his favor. But let's say he had a bigger target. ये target था जो which we had marked generally, right? And this was a logical target. अब वो बंदा यहाँ पे he will try to sell over here, right? Because he thinks that this is a resistance. Let's see what happens now. Now he's waiting. Okay, now imagine he waiting over here, and this guy who's taken a trade over here, for him this would be the ये एक logical target होता है. And let's say for this guy the target is achieved. Okay, let's say. Okay, now for him the target is achieved. Correct. So he would have closed his trade in profit. Now have a look at this guy who is trying to sell at day high. Right. So यहाँ पे he would look for something. He didn't get any sign, so obviously he would have not. Now imagine this guy who would have bought over here and booked his profits at this point. What he would feel?
कि उसने better profit loss कर दिया, मतलब वो ज़्यादा अच्छा.
Like he would have made more. So I'll tell you what happens in these cases usually. Usually, what happens in with traders in the market is that if they have had a profit trade, अगर आपकी एक profit में आपने trade book कर दी है, उसके बाद usually एक profitable trader, दिन का I'm saying, he would not take a second trade. In most cases, this is what we have seen, right? But when there is a loss, in order to cover that loss, he'll take up 3, 4, 5 trades, right? So even he's going to feel bad. So the next time, when there is a breakout, he will look for a bigger target. ये होगा उसकी next trade में, जो कल होगी, कल या परसों होगी. ठीक है, now let's go again. Okay, now again comes the fake breakout trader. बोलेगा अच्छा breakout तो हो गया, इसका लो भी तोड़ दिया है. Now this is a fake breakout, so he'll try to sell somewhere over here. Let's assume, right? Now let's see what happens with this as the target. You can say, एक अच्छा target है यहाँ पे, ये swing low, ये एक अच्छा target हो गया. ठीक है? These are good targets, let's say. Okay, and this guy has also achieved his target, right? This guy has also achieved his target. Correct? इसने अपना target achieve कर लिया. ठीक है? Okay, now let's see what happens. Now his trade is, for example, closed. Correct? His trade is closed at this point of time over here. Right? Now I'm telling you, now there will be a different trader, right, who thinks that this is a strong support. यहाँ पे एक bullish engulfing candle है. ठीक है? So he will try to take a trade over here. But that would not have worked out for him, right? And for this trader who had these two targets in place, this one and this one, he has achieved both the targets. Clear? Now one suggestion, those who want to be a discretionary trader, right? Make sure you buy this premium trading account feature. ज़्यादा पैसा नहीं लगेगा आपका, but इससे आपको सीखने मिलेगा. If you want to be now this is something, an exercise which you can do Saturday and Sunday. Just try to see how you would have reacted to the market, right? And note it down. Something, if you want to be a discretionary trader in real, right, where you want to understand the price and then take a trade, right? You can actually practice this. Saturday, Sunday, it has a cost. But see, I'm telling you, if you run any business, there are going to be some costs, right? So take it as a cost, right? Use good softwares, right? It will be worth it. So he's booked his profits. Now he's done. Okay, he's done. He's not looking at anything because this was his profit. Now what happens? Okay, now there is a big range ka day low breakout at about 245, right? So this would have been like acha market maybe day low bhi tod diya. But if you see, the range is very, very big. When the range is big, no, usually a price action trader would not think of taking a short or long trade. Anyway, let's say somebody shorted over here. Let's assume somebody shorted at this point, and let's say his SL was here. Okay, let's go back now. What's happening? Okay, now there'll be some panic. Why? Because the person who shorted over here, his stop loss is over here, and usually a day end mein jo fake breakouts or fluctuate in, like there is lot of movements in the last, from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. right? From 1:45 to 2:45 p.m. 3 p.m. markets are usually very volatile. So let's say, there is a guy who's over here. He's like, okay, fine. If the sellers are trapped, I want to go long over here. This is my long position. In case if the sellers are trapped, I want to buy over here. Why? Because the sellers may be trapped. Okay, let's go back now. Okay, so his entry is not triggered, but he was like, if in case if the buyers like, okay, now opinions change, right? This guy who shorted over here, he's seeing some profits. Okay, what happened? Now, even
Fast
nobody
big
was
candle.
expecting this big candle
Yes.
was not expected, right? Now, these are things which are going to happen in the live market, and I believe the market is actually closed at this point. I think it was okay. It is not closed, but
No,
I
no.
believe now you have got the point of how the market behaves. समझ में आया क्या हो रहा है? So if we try to trade so like rigid, like the entire day, so and it's not going to be very stress free. It's going to be of too much stress. In this case, what we recommend to people to do is that you can pick your zone. Either I'll trade in the morning zone or I will trade only in the afternoon zone. If you want to scalp around, right, you can trade in the mid zone, which is 10:30 to 12:30. So these are called as trading zones. What is trading zone? The morning zone, which is until 10:30, which is called as zone 1, right? Then there is a zone called 10:30 to 1 p.m., which is zone 2, and after 1 p.m. to market end, which is called as zone 3. Correct. So even if you start with discretionary trading, अगर आप discretionary trading से शुरुआत करते हो, right? If you start out with discretionary trading, which means that you are actually seeing how prices are behaving tick by tick, and then you take a decision. In this case also, always start with one zone. You think it's possible to trade for 6 hours with sane mind? I know we are running, we are going off the topic, but this will help you certainly. So I hope, yes, correct. Like it's going to be very difficult. So I hope you have got the point of this. We have recorded this entire thing. I think it will be very valuable. So I think we'll be sharing this again. Okay. I scaled there and everything. Right. I hope this is clear. So you have got your point. Now I don't have to tell you much about what we did, but I hope you have got a point about. Is it clear what is discretionary trading and systematic trading after this good half an hour discussion? Not right now, Gaurav.
Yes, sir, भाई. Clear to me. मेरे लिए बहुत जरूरी था ये.
वही हो रहा था. ठीक है. I hope this is clear.
बहुत important था ये.
Yeah. In case जो ये लोग कर रहे हैं, आप कर रहे हो गलत नहीं है. This is not wrong. I'm not saying it's wrong, but you at least have to limit your time in the market. Don't spend 6 hours doing this, because 6 hours if you spend, you are bound to get 6 trades, because market is going to give you one or the other opportunity, either up way, down way, some or the other way. Clear? So you have to restrict your time. So this is something which is called as intermittent trading, where you trade for a certain 2 hours and then you take a break for 4 hours. It's called as intermittent fasting. आपने सुना होगा. This is called as intermittent trading, where you do not trade the entire day. Correct. You trade only for a certain period of time for the entire day. Correct. So just one second.
सर आपने discretionary trading करी है कभी?
नहीं, discretionary trading also in a way of rule based. Okay. I'll be taking you through that. For example, discretionary trading के अंदर एक आता है pre-planned trades which you take. That is also a part of discretionary trading. Not exactly, but I've done it way less, like बहुत कम. I've never done it, frankly. In that also I made some rules which I'll be discussing today. Right. So any which ways, now let us get started. Okay. With our today's session. I hope it was clear. जो मुझे समझाना था. I don't think I have to read the PPT anymore. Clear. Let's go forward, and you can read this on your own. Okay. I think I've tried to explain all of it, in a very simple manner through the live chat. Okay. All of this, you know, so I'm going to skip all of this. What is breakout trading? What is breakdown trading? What is retest trading? All of this is known already. Clear? Let's move it now. As a day trader, right now, this is where we're talking about a setup which can help you. So what we discussed in the previous session was that we are looking for breakout trading based on yesterday's price action. So if the price was going up for a certain period of time, and then if it were consolidating for 2-3 days, right, and if a resistance which has been tested multiple times, if it is taken out, we look for a long entry, or if a support is tested multiple times and we look for a short entry. But how does this is called as what? Trend trading. Sorry, market going up, retracing a bit, and then you expect a good breakout or a breakdown. Now let me take you to another way of trading. What happens? There is a stock which has given a breakout and it continues its momentum for 2-3 days on a daily time frame. So on a daily time frame, you see that the chart is just going up. But if you go to a smaller time frame, that is intraday time frame. Intraday time frame कौन सी है? 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute, 60 minutes, 1 hour, right? Like this. Let's say there is a big breakout which has happened. It's an all-time high breakout, a monthly breakout, big breakout which is happening. Next day, it opens in intraday in the first half an hour or in an hour. It forms a range. What can happen then if it gives a breakout? Can we expect that for intraday, now we may see a strong momentum, and in the day end, it may close something like this. So yesterday was a trending move, right? It was trading at 52-week high. It was trading at its all-time high. RSI was above 60, right? Everything was, RSI was also inching higher. It was not coming down. It was also inching higher only. So strength was increasing. Candle was showing strength. But in intraday, in the morning hour, right, there was what? A good consolidation. Clear? Is the logic clear until now? Whatever I said, have you got an understanding of this? The concept समझ में आया कि नहीं आया? Then I will take you to the setup. Or do you want me to repeat again the concept? Understood? Right? Okay, fine. So, okay, repeat. You want me to repeat? Okay, fine. Let's assume, everyone, that on a daily time frame, you are seeing, oh, just 1 second, my battery is down. Okay, guys, over here. I hope you can see me. Let's say there are these candles which are happening on a daily time frame. It's going up. Now, on a daily time frame, is there any retracement happening? Absolutely
No.
no. But what happens on an intraday basis? These are all daily time frame candles. I will have to mute everyone now. Right. Yeah. But on an intraday basis, there can be a retracement, right? For example, for this particular day, what would have happened in the live market on a short, something like on a 15 minutes, 5 minutes time frame? The market for the first 1 hour, it was staying in a tight range. Now, if the stock is in a tight range, and then if it gives a breakout, what can happen? It can give a strong momentum. So remember one thing, even though the market may go one way up, right, on a daily time frame, on a shorter time frame, like on the intraday time frames, it can retrace a bit, right? And we have to make the best use of this retracement, of this consolidation. नहीं समझ में आया? समझ में आ जाएगा, ठीक है ना? I've done okay, so I'm gonna do it again now. Right now, which is called as insider bar. What is this concept called? insider bar. Clear? What is insider bar? Where the first candle, right? Let's assume this is a 15-minute candle. What is this? A 15-minute candle. The first candle, this is the high and this is the low. And the second candle, which is a 15 minutes time frame, is inside the high and low of the first candle, right? The first candle is this, and the second candle, if the high and low of the second candle is inside the first candle's high and low, what does it mean? That in the next 15 minutes, the market was actually staying inside the range of the first candle, which means it was consolidating. It was staying in a range. Now, when the market is staying in a range, and then if the high is taken out, we can expect a strong momentum either on the upside or either on the downside. Why? Because a strong stock, which is in a strong momentum in intraday levels, for the first 30 minutes, it was consolidating. It was in a tight range. I'll be sharing some examples. You can go through it, right? So which means what? Now we can expect a strong momentum in this stock because the stock is already in a strong momentum just for intraday level basis. सिर्फ intraday के लिए वो consolidate कर रहा था. Let's go and have a look at some other examples. This insider bar over here, correct? Again, if you see, this is a, imagine, all this is 15 minutes candle, right? All these are 15 minutes candle. This is the first 15-minute candle. From now, this is the first candle of 15 minutes. Where does the market spend the next half an hour? Inside the range of the first 15-minute candle, which now these are nothing but your insider bar, right? It's inside bar. What does it suggest? What is the meaning of insider bar? Nothing. It is your retracement, right? The consolidation which you see, but on a shorter time frame. Now, insider bar works across all time frames. Okay. Here we are talking about intraday levels, which is on a 15 minutes time frame. We should be done. Okay. Is my voice audible? Okay. Am I audible, guys? Yeah, correct. Yes, perfect. Thank you. So here, this is the insider bar. Clear? And then if there is a breakout, we expect strong movement. So the range, the concept remains the same. Ek range hai. If that range is taken out, we can expect a big momentum either on the upside or either on the downside. Let's go back right now. One second. Yeah. So here. Now for intraday, okay, remember, for day trading over here, psychology, insider bar represents nothing but a healthy retracement and continuation. A trending stock may continue its uptrend with small retracements in intraday. However, at times in a sideways market, the market may give end number of insiders and it may lead to over trading. So usually inside bar mein kya hota hai, pata hai kya? A lot of times the market can keep on giving you these insiders on a 15 minutes time frame. So let me tell you on the chart. Right, for example, let's go on a 15 minutes time frame. Let's pick any stock. Let's, for example, Tech Mahindra. For example, here, this was an inside candle. Like on a 15 minutes time frame, we are seeing this was the high and the low of the first candle, right? And then we had 1, 2, like, you know, these many candles were inside the high of the first candle. Now, let's go back. If you zoom in, you will see there are a lot of insiders. Even this is an insider candle. Because why? Because the high and low of this candle is inside the high and low of this mother candle. Again, let's go back. Many times you will see a lot of insiders coming in, right? Can you see? This is also an insider. Mother candle. So many candles inside the high and low of the first candle. If you go zoom in, you will see that even this is an inside candle. Why? Because the high and low of this candle is inside this candle. Correct? Then you have, do we have, yeah, this, see, this is the high and low of this green candle, and then there are so many candles who are within this candle, right? So there will be so many insiders, you will get confused, right? And this is the confusion which will happen in the live market as well. So what are we supposed to do? We can make a bit of rule to make this easier, right? We can make a bit of rule in this case to make it easier, right? So what is the rule over here for day trading? Right? Okay, I've mentioned over here. So one simple way to not fall for this is you may choose to trade the first 15 minutes, first 30 minutes insider bar only. Correct. What will happen over here is that you are making a rule that if inside bar is formed on a 15 minutes time frame within the first two, इसके बाद पूरे दिन में कभी भी एक कैंडल आती है, आप उसको इग्नोर करोगे. आप क्या करोगे? उसको इग्नोर करोगे. You will only focus if the inside bar happens within the first two candles only. For example, let me just take you through this in a very easy and like in a very simple manner. Correct. Let's go over here. This is a candle. Okay. And let's say now if an insider bar is formed in the third candle, will we consider it? No. No. Correct. Hai? We only want insider bar to be something like this, which is in the first 30 minutes only, the insider bar should come. We will ignore the rest insider bars. I hope that is clear. Correct. Now you can make a rule of your own. Now this is the rule which I am giving you. Clear. So we have one rule in place in order to not get confused. Clear. And usually if the market, and you know, in the why I'm saying in the morning, because you have the entire day left. So if the market has to be trending, you will get that entire day's move. Clear. Let's go back. Now entry pointers. Now for intraday trading, we are going to use, now even though जो inside bar है वो हम 15 मिनट में देखते हैं, ठीक है, but for day trading we use 5 minutes time frame to enter. For entry we are using 5 minutes time frame, but we are observing this particular insider bar on 5 minutes. So कैसे आप daily time frame में analysis करते हो? Here for insider bar you're looking for the insider bar to be formed on a 15 minutes time frame. However, the entry is 5 minutes time frame. But tell me one thing, I'll see, in order to know whether an insider bar has been formed on a 15 minutes time frame in the first half an hour, do you actually have to go to 15 minutes time frame या 5 मिनट की time frame में आपको समझ में आ जाएगा insider bar बना है कि नहीं? चलो जवाब दो, थोड़ा दिमाग दौड़ाओ. I have to, somebody saying 15 मिनट में जाना पड़ेगा, somebody saying 5 मिनट में जाना पड़ेगा. आपको 5 मिनट में ही समझ में आ जाएगा, ठीक है, जरूरत नहीं है आपको 15 मिनट्स टाइम फ्रेम में जाने की. How? Let's take this. Now this particular candle over here, these are, let's say this is on 5 minutes time frame, right? Reference image for long trades, right? This is a 5 minute time frame chart. 1, 2, and 3, right? So this was the high and low of the first 15 minutes, which is going to be the high and low even on a 15 minutes time frame. But this is just a 5 minutes time frame chart. And then the next 3 candles, 1, 2, and 3, they are also inside the first high and low of the 15 minutes candle. Okay? So you don't exactly have to go to a 15 minutes time frame to see whether there is an insider bar. Okay? You can use the same concept. आपको logic लगाना है. भाई, this is 5 minutes. Every candle over here is 5 minutes. 1, 2, and 3. Correct? ये high और ये low हो गया पहले 15 मिनट का. उसके बाद के 15 मिनट, the next 15 minutes, they are inside the high and low of this candle, which means it's an insider bar. Right? We're not even looking at the wick. Wick कुछ भी नहीं. Shadow, कुछ नहीं. Proper होना चाहिए mother candle. Right? It should not, even the wick should not go out. Right? This is the rule which I have given. Very, very simple. Correct? Don't confuse yourself now. I am not, जो मैंने rule बताए हैं उसको ही देखो. अभी दिमाग अभी नहीं लगाना है. Again, this is also insider bar. High and low of the first 15 minutes. Next 3 candles are also inside the high and low of the first 15 minutes. इसका मतलब क्या हो गया? What has happened? There is a breakdown. ये आपका SL हो गया. And then you can take a trade. Now let me give you an example. Now all the stocks which we are talking over here, these are the stocks whose RSI is on a rise, who are near their 52-week high, monthly high, which are in strong momentum. Momentum कैसे find करना है? RSI को देख के, ठीक है? Clear है? right? So these are some examples. You can take reference from it, right? We're not going to spend too much time in all this, right? It's very simple. I'm going to go to the slideshow over here. Now, where I will share the screener with you from where you're going to get all of it. Right, RSI should be rising above 50, mostly 55, 60 hogi to achhi baat hai. For example, over here, right? So I think this a mistake has been made by Jignesh over here, but anyways, this is Tech Mahindra, correct, over here. So here, if you see, this was an insider. Then there was a breakout. So you can enter when there is a breakout. This will be your stop loss, the nearest retracement, and then there is a strong momentum. Stock was nearest 52-week high, RSI above 60 on daily. Correct? That's what you have to see. Let's again go back. Have a look at this. Tech Mahindra, again, because Tech Mahindra was one stock which was in which, you know, the entire IT pack. Like I said, you know, IT has been one particular sector which has been very good to trade for momentum. Right? If you ask the best sector, the best performing sector is the IT sector. Right? So if you see over here as well, we have the first three candles, and the next three candles are exactly inside the high and low of the first three candles. Then there is a breakout, correct? You can take a trade with the nearest retracement as your SL, and then the stock tends to move in your favor. Clear? Again, we are going to some examples. Now this is again SRF. So SRF was actually shared with the December batch learners, correct? So it was trading inside range over here. As soon as it gives a breakout, this is your SL, and then we see a good momentum. All these stocks, they are near their all-time high, right? I'm talking the stocks which I'm showing over here, all-time high, 52-week high, not even monthly high, right? And you can use this as per your understanding. अगर आपको लग रहा है कि एक stock ने बहुत बड़ा breakout दिया है, so you can ride the trend by using these insiders. That's completely up to you. Correct. Let's go on now. This is Adani. Adani was also, but here, if you see, it did not work that well. So this was an insider, 1, 2, 3, and then the next three, a lot of candles were inside it. Gave a breakout. This was the SL. You see the nearest U-turn, right? This is the SL, and the market then was very, very choppy. It was not a clear direction. Now let's so what, now you may have a question, what obviously is the stock selection, right? So as a breakout trader, I hope the stop loss is pretty much clear. Exit कैसे करना है हमने वो सबको देख लिया है. आपको EMA use करना है, वो सब हम already discuss कर चुके हैं. Now, as a breakout trader, you need high momentum stocks. So follow the below guidelines. High beta stocks with RSI above 60 or 40 on a daily time frame, or simply trade stocks near 52-week high stocks showing good momentum, and obviously, you know, the RSI should be above 60, right? The RSI should be above 60, correct, on a daily time frame. So that would ensure that you are with high momentum stocks. Now, where to find these stocks? I am going to share a screener over here with you. You can have a look at it. See, so the name of the scanner is FNO stocks trading near 52-week high NSE win. Screener आपके साथ share कर दिया जाएगा. You don't have to worry about it. No, nothing over here. You can go for shorting trades. I have no problem with that. Right? You can reduce your quantity. For example, we have Cholafin, Power Grid. I will be taking all your queries only at the end of the session. So abhi aapke hand unraise kar do, right? Zoom user, Saksham, kindly unraise your hand. Right? Your doubts will be taken when we are at the end of the session. Okay? Yeah. Now, there is Cholafin, there is Power Grid. So you can go over here. Okay, fine. This is Cholafin on a daily time frame. We'll go. Correct. First, we'll go on a daily time frame. Right. Let's go over here. So you know the stock is in a very, very strong momentum. The volumes are good. Obviously, the RSI is going to be very high. So next day, very simple. If it is giving you an insider bar on a 15 minutes time frame, right? So you can take a trade. You know the rules. Retracement चाहिए, ठीक है? Breakout के बाद, that will be your entry structure. Let's go to next stock, which is Power Grid. Not every stock, yeah, you're correct. Not every stock near 52-week high. Again, Power Grid, if we see, let's have a look at the RSI, okay, over here as well. Now, usually what you should do in this case is that आपने जो Friday को stock select किए ना, you 5 stocks which are there right over here. You keep this as your permanent watch list for the next week, right? Don't keep on changing the stocks. Otherwise, you will miss on big momentum. One mistake which people make is that they keep on changing their stocks every day. Don't do that, right? So track these 5 stocks for the next week. If the RSI drops below 60, then that's another thing. But you can track these 5 stocks only, the top 5 stocks for the next week, and you can trade it simply. Don't think too much over here. So this is the level over here. Okay, just 1 second. So obviously we know the the RSI has just given a breakout. So RSI has just gone above 60. So we can see strong momentum in power grid going ahead. So this also comes in a watch. This way you can go to Pidilite, you can go to Trent, right? Again, no problem, right? It's a bullish structure. RSI is on the rise over here, if you see, right? So RSI is on the rise. Everything is meeting. So tomorrow, if there's an insider bar, you can have a look at it. So I made it very simple. Earnings वगैरह भी मत जाओ, please यार. Don't confuse yourself. Yes, I Nitish, that is the setup. Yeah, you can do it for this works good on Nifty and Bank Nifty as well. But just make sure that the Nifty or now tell me one thing. When will it work on Nifty and Bank Nifty? I don't even have to tell you. When will it work on Nifty and Bank Nifty as well? Devashish, I've already done it twice. I cannot repeat the entire thing again. I'm sorry. Not 52-week high. At least when it's in a trend. Even Nifty, an example, is a trend. When both Nifty, Bank Nifty, it's in a trend, right? That is the time when even this would work. So let me take you through the Nifty trades, right? As of now, if you see Nifty, if you know, this was a very strong momentum, right? Can you see? Look at this big candle. This big candle, it tells you that, okay, now it's in a trend. So if you go over here on a 15 minutes time frame, let's go over here. So guys, can you see we have an insider bar in the first this thing only in the first 15 minutes only. So as soon as the low was taken out, you could have shorted. This would have been on a 5 minutes time frame, obviously, right? And with the nearest retracement as the SL, and this could have been a good trade. So it works well when there's a good trend. And yes, this setup has been it works better in Nifty than it does in Bank Nifty. Correct. This setup, it works better. Okay, now let's again go back and have a look at Nifty Bank also. I'll show you. So let's go on a daily time frame first of all. So if you see, this was a strong breakout. Dikh raha hai aapko? This was a overall, this was a strong breakout. And also if you see over here, the RSI started to inch above 60. Correct. Now let's have a look at these days from 3rd Jan. Right. Now we don't want to, from 3rd Jan, right? So let's go to 3rd Jan. Correct, 3rd Jan. Okay, perfect. So we don't have an insider, right? In this case, we did not have an insider, exact insider. It was not an exact insider. But you see, there was strong momentum. Again, this was not an insider, so we didn't get a chance. Okay, perfect. Guys, do we have an insider over here? Yes, and you got your trade. You got your trade for the day. Clear? So if there is momentum, if you see this big candles now, for example, if you take something like Pidilite, on a daily time frame, it gave a lot of insider when it broke out from this range over here. Can you see? So when it broke out from this range, which was a base formation, you see W pattern on a daily time frame. So like I said, W pattern works very good for reversals. Agar aap isko pakad lo. So this was a base formation over here. It gave a breakout. Correct. Look at the volumes. RSI above 60, and then it gave a lot of insiders to trade. Okay, so over here as well, it gave an insider Pidilite. So you can check on your own. So whenever there is high momentum, just you have to make sure that you have to use this particular 5 मिनट क्लोज पे लेना है ललित, मैंने बताया ना, इस चीज को मैं बता चुका हूं, हमको 5 मिनट की क्लोज पे ही लेना है. ऑल द चार्ट्स व्हिच वर शेयर्ड विद यू वर ऑन 5 मिनट्स टाइम फ्रेम. थोड़ा ध्यान दीजिए, राइट? थोड़ा आप सबको ध्यान देना है, हम मूवी नहीं देख रहे हैं. So you will have to take your notes down, do everything. Now I'm taking you through the PPT as well. So PPT होने के बावजूद आपका ध्यान होना चाहिए, correct? Now, if you guys have any questions now on this, you can ask, right? You can raise your hand. I am pausing the screen right now. You can ask your questions. That would be the best time, right? I'll take 5 queries right now, and the others I will take it after the session, right? So yeah, I'll take the names. You can ask your query. Asim, please ask your query.
Yeah, my question is the first 15 minutes candle. Okay.
Sorry?
There's an insider candle. Can you hear me right now? Jay?
I cannot hear you. Yes,
One-
Gaurav.
Can you hear me
Yeah,
now?
hi there.
Yeah, hi Gaurav.
Actually, first 15 minutes अगर inside bar बनता है and जो 5 minute closing हमको breakout पे ढूंढना है, so does it matter कि वो after 10-15 minutes या 2-3
वो फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. That does not
नहीं
matter.
नहीं.
It's just that the first insider should be formed within the first 30 minutes.
First.
Okay.
Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah. Yes, Asim, now you can ask if your voice, if you're
Yeah.
yeah.
Can you hear me now? My question is, there's a 15 minutes candle on the first 15 minutes candle, and there is an insider candle. That is the second candle. Okay.
I cannot hear
second-
you, Asim. You're not audible.
Okay, it's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. So,
Gaurav, Yashwant.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, let's assume that there is a 15-minute candle and there is an inside candle. In the third candle, 5-minute candle, if we are going to enter, let's assume that it has formed a engulfing candle, and at the end
It
of
does not
1 minute,
matter. See, candlestick pattern we are not discussing.
okay. My
We just
question was,
want
what
this
if there is a
insider
selling
candle,
wick
right?
that happens at that candle in the
Sorry?
third candle? What if there is a selling wick that has come in the breakout candle? Should we still enter to the trade?
You can enter. This
Okay.
is the insider. If there is a breakout, you take a long trade. If there is a breakdown, you take a shorting trade. If it is with the trend, you go with full quantity. If you're going against the trend, reduce your quantity. Very simple.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no confusions regarding that. Yeah. Yes, Srinivas, Mutharasu, and Sashank. Please ask your query.
Hi, sir. Srinivas here.
Hi.
Sir, for the whatever the stocks which are trading near 52-week high, only if within the first 30 minutes, if the insider bar is formed, and if the after 30 minutes, if the high is taken out, we'll trade that trade, right, for 52-week high stocks.
Yeah, I think that's what we discussed. Yes.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's what I'm. That's what I'm.
Right, guys. Please, because this is during the session, so make sure if you have a doubt, only then ask.
Yes, that is what. So
otherwise, the session will get extended.
No, that is the doubt I had, so that's why I'm just asking.
Yeah.
But if the 52-week
guys, please be particular about your questions, right? If you have any further questions, I will be taking after 12:30 any which ways, right? But I want to make sure that the others who are attending the sessions, their time is not, taken out, because they may have to go somewhere at 12:30, right? So if your question is specific, then you may ask. Clear?
Hello, sir.
Yes. Yes.
Can we trade for 52 weeks low also, this system?
I have not backtested it. You can do it, but it works wherever there is momentum. So even if a stock is breaking like a monthly low, so this is a very good question. So see, when I say 52-week high, I mean momentum. Clear? Now let's say, I'll tell you what is basically momentum in trading. When it is breaking a bigger range. Now what is a bigger range in trading? For example, let's say this was a trend line. Clear? This was a big trend line. Correct? And if there is a breakdown, we can expect the momentum to continue. This is again a big. So any big momentum, right? And like over here, the RSI would have also shorted up. So whenever a monthly breakout happens, or a yearly breakout happens, or a 52-week high breakout happens, there is going to be momentum. आप कोई भी एक चीज select कर दो. For example, okay, fine. If there is a monthly breakout stock, if a stock is breaking out outside a range, I will look for a insider bar entry in that. Clear?
Sir, weeks also should be considered, sir. Yeah, in this.
I have been very clear. आपको weeks नहीं देखना है.
Okay, sir.
iPad question बाद में. जब वो topic चल रहा था, you should have asked that question. Sashank, right now we are talking about day trading. Yes, Karan, W and M are strong reversals. No, Gaurav, I won't be opening daily time frame candle now. Vic is not considering. Vic, you're not considering. We want a 15-minute proper candle. See, we are seeing ये high है और ये low है. ये आपका insider है. Don't try to apply third logics over here. Okay. So this is simple. अगर आपको कुछ specific questions है regarding this, I'll be able to take it up. Yes, Shivam, Sharik.
Hello, sir. I just wanted to ask, अगर कोई पहले से stock option वगैरह में already करता है, I do I take trades in stock options also. So क्या इस setup से stock options
करता है, हाँ,
trade
stock
कर
options
सकते
you can do because this is a high momentum strategy. You can do it.
Okay.
हेलो सर, शारिक दिस साइड।
बोलिए
सर, ये सेटअप सिर्फ जब ट्रेंडी मार्केट हो तभी फॉलो करेंगे या साइडवेज मार्केट में चलता है ये सेटअप?
मैंने बैंक निफ्टी का चार्ट क्यों दिखाया फिर सर?
तो सर ठीक है, फिर सर
ट्रेंडिंग मार्केट में काम करेगा ना।
ठीक है सर।
बस हमको एक ट्रेंडिंग मोमेंटम, फिर हम 52 वीक हाई स्टॉक्स की क्यों बात कर रहे हैं, हम मंथली ब्रेकआउट स्टॉक्स की बात क्यों कर रहे हैं?
राइट सर, राइट।
थोड़ा ध्यान आप सबको देना पड़ेगा बिकॉज दिस इज द सेम टॉपिक वी आर डिस्कसिंग ऑन एंड ऑन अगेन।
ओके।
यस ओके। यस गौरव, शिवम मेहरा, शुभम अग्रवाल।
सर शुभम अग्रवाल क्या?
हाँ
सर, उसका टारगेट्स कैसे सेट करेंगे हम, मतलब 15 मिनट्स के बाद में जो ब्रेकआउट होगा?
5 मिनट्स टाइम फ्रेम के ऊपर देखो, मैंने आपको एग्जिट क्राइटेरिया ऑलरेडी बता दिया है, राइट? यू ईदर स्टार्ट इन द इनिशियल डेज, फोकस मोर ऑन एग्जिटिंग, राइट? यू स्टार्ट बुकिंग प्रॉफिट्स लाइक इन द फर्स्ट लाइक यू नो आपके जो पहले उसमें आप ईएमए यूज कर सकते हो, रन योर प्रॉफिट्स, द नियरेस्ट रेजिस्टेंस, ऑल ऑफ दैट यू कैन डू इट।
ओके सर।
यू नीड
सर
टू
अगर
हैव अ ट्रेडिंग प्लान। जब हम डे ट्रेडिंग का जो प्लान बनाया है ना,
सर 52 वीक हाई के ऊपर रहा तो क्या करेंगे?
ईएमए।
ओके ओके सर।
Yeah, all of that has been given. Okay. Okay, now this is done. We are now starting with the new topic which is called as pivot points. Now this is completely different. ठीक है, अभी आप इसको समझ लीजिए pivot points को। ठीक है ना? Now like I said, now when we discuss rule based trading, you are going to try to you know use all the logics and ask ये हुआ तो वो हुआ तो, but in rule based trading it is not like that. You follow something as it is. Clear? Obviously you will be doing your own back testing that comes at the later stage. I'll be sharing you some back tested report. You can go have a look at it. Okay, now let's do one thing. Okay, now let's talk about something which is called as pivot points. Now let's go on a 5 minutes time frame. I'm adding an indicator which is called as pivot points. Okay, what is it called? Pivot point standard. Pivot point standard. Correct. Now if you add, what are these pivot points? They are nothing but automated support and resistance line, right? Pivot, this is a pivot. Can you see over here? This is one single line. Now these pivot points, they are nothing but automated support and resistance which are drawn on the chart. Clear? This is nothing but automated resistance and support which is drawn on the chart. It's an indicator. Clear? How is it calculated? It is calculated based on yesterday's high, low and close. Okay? We don't have to get into the calculation, but आप Google कर सकते हो pivot points calculate कैसे होते हैं. But now we have, like you know, it's there on all the trading softwares. So what are pivot points? They are automated support and resistance on the chart. Is that clear? Right? That is what this indicator is. Clear? Now let's go back, right, and see what we are supposed to do with it. Clear? Now, apart from pivot points, right, there is another important thing which is, so if you see there is over here we have, you know, there is this resistance 1, right? There is a pivot line over here. Let's assume this is the pivot line. Pivot is the central line, right? And then you have R1 resistance 1, resistance 2, resistance 3. किसी का mic चालू है, एक second. Right, and this is support 1, support 2, and support 3. Okay, clear? So this is resistance 1. Now these are automated levels which are calculated based on yesterday's high, low, and closing price. Clear? So these levels, they act as a strong support and resistance on the chart. If you see over here, it gives a breakout, goes to R3, again comes, takes support, gives a breakout, goes to R4, and it comes over here. So I'll share you one chart of Bank Nifty. So a lot of people use it as a as areas to book profits. Okay, so this is Nifty Bank, right? So over here, if you see, it gave a breakout of the resistance over here and took a resistance exactly from the R2. It took resistance exactly from the R2. Correct? These are made automatically. Correct, Prashant? Right? They are nothing but you're drawn automatically. Correct? They are drawn automatically. I hope this is clear. Now again, let's go back. Right? And it's a new topic, everyone. So you will have to be very, very patient. So if you have any doubt, put on the chat box, and we'll be having a detailed doubt solving session today only after the session. So I don't want a doubt session to be delayed in this case. Another important thing is we know is previous day high and previous day low. Now previous day high and previous day low is an inflection point that leads to a reaction, right? Right, it leads to a reaction from buyers and sellers. Now PDH PDL is a point from where, like, you know, from where trend is created. Now what it means by trend is created, have a look at something like this. Now this is yesterday's price action. This is Monday. This is 100 rupees, and this, let's say, is 95. So the high was 100 rupee, the low was 95. Just 1 second, guys. Rohit, can you check Mona's account? I'm not able to add runs there. I'm not able to run ads there. Okay. Guys, just 1 minute. Okay, guys. So this was the high and low, right? So for Tuesday, when I say previous day high and previous day low, it means previous day high and previous day low. Yesterday's high and low, correct? Yesterday's high and low. So these are inflection points. So if the market has to be trending, it is going to go and close, like it has to, you know, break the previous day high. Otherwise, it cannot be called a trending day, right? So this is previous day high, this previous day low. If the market has to be trending, it has to break either the previous day high or the previous day low. So it's called PDH and PDL, right? It's called PDH and PDL. Remember, in Insider Bot, what are we doing? We are trying to catch the high and low of today's day, the day on which you are trading. In previous day high and previous day low, we are talking about the yesterday's high and yesterday's low. Correct? I hope these two things are pretty much clear. Deepu, wait, yeah, wait. Anyways, now again, let's go. Right, this previous day high, I'll show you to chart. For example, let me remove this over here. This is previous day high, correct? And this is your previous day low, correct? ये क्या हो गया आपका? ये हो गया high, ये हो गया low. So today, and like for this day, this is the previous day high and this is the previous day. If I want to trade the next day, right, these are the important levels for me, correct? So for Monday, that is tomorrow, this is the previous day high and this is the previous day low. I hope this is pretty much clear, right? This is pretty much clear. Okay, now let's go ahead and talk about right. Now, now imagine a chart which has previous day high and the pivot along with it, right? For example, I'm going to take you to the chart again. So I'll remove all of it, right? Let's remove all of it. And I just don't want, I'm removing everything. So you have two lines, right? I'm going to remove the center line as well, which I don't want the pivot, right? So this is S1 and R1, which is resistance 1, right? And resistance 2. Now I'm going to add one more thing over here, which is the previous day low and the previous day high over here. So what we are doing is, everyone understand, we're using a zone which includes your previous day high and the resistance 1 and previous day low and S1 to make a system, right? We're using this to make a system. First thing what we've understood, that PDH and PDL, they are what? Inflection point, and which are very important for any trend to occur. These are the areas from which you can see that the market is going to spend some time over here, because these are the areas which are same for everyone. For every trader, the previous day high and the previous day low, they are same. So you will see a lot of reaction happening over here, a lot of algo trading, the automated trades happen at these areas, right? So again, let's go back. Right, we are going to use PDH, PDL along with pivot to create a logical entry system. Now, PDH and PDL is an inflection point for any trending day or sideways day. So if the prices stay within the range, it is likely to be a range bound day. So what are we assuming, right? This is an assumption. Now, this is an assumption to make a trading system. हम क्या कर रहे हैं? हम एक trading system को बना रहे हैं. हम क्या कर रहे हैं? हम एक ट्रेडिंग सिस्टम को बना रहे हैं, एंड फॉर दैट वी आर यूजिंग, one second, for that what are we doing? We are using previous day high and previous day low. Kindly unraise your hand. Yes, right. So we are using a system which is what? Previous day high and the pivot, which what are we using? What are pivots? They are automated support and resistance. So we are using R1, right, and S1 in order to create a system. I hope this is pretty much clear. Let's go and see how it looks on the chart. Over here, right, we are going to use an indicator. I'll be giving you all of that, which draws the previous day high. Now the orange line over here is the previous day high, right, and this is previous day low. The green line is your R1, which is resistance 1, and this is support 1. Clear? So a lot of you who had this problem that, you know, in the initial trading strategy, right, we were talking that if the swing high or swing low, drawing the support, drawing the resistance, all of that. In this case, right, those who want a logical entry system, you can use this. Now this is very, very similar. As we go and we talk about the entry systems, we'll be taking care of all of that, right? So आपको ये समझना है, right? Now remember one thing. Here we are talking now. Again, when we talk about this in detail, just focus, right? This is previous day high, this is resistance 1, support 1. So what we are assuming is an assumption, and based on your trading idea, we make a trading system. What is the trading idea? If the market stays within PDH R1, PDL S1, we expect the market to be sideways. This is called as a range bound area. Is this clear, everyone? अभी तक ये समझ में आया है कि नहीं आया है? Because only then we can go ahead and make a system out of it. So if the market goes outside the range, which is PDH, PDL, R1, S1, what do we assume? It can be a trending day, right? It can be a trending day. The good part is this can be back tested easily, just like the insider bar. Correct? Now, again, you go to the second image again. Over here, this is your PDH, PDL, R1, S1. Here, if this was a sideways day, and if you see, yesterday was very, very choppy. It was a complete sideways day. Next day, when it breaks the previous day low and the S1, support 1, we see a trending day. So what do you understand by this? For example, let's say you analyzed a stock, right? Now this is Bank Nifty. Now I predominant. Now this is again, we are talking about Bank Nifty only. You can trade this on stocks as well. You can do your own back testing. You can apply it, right? But let's say you see that there is a stock which is a trending stock, right? It goes up and it's consolidating like this. It's consolidating. What will happen if there is a breakout and breakdown? Can you use this as an entry system to also enter in stocks? Most likely yes. What do you want? You same structure. So let's say you have prepared a watch list of 4 to 5 stocks which are consolidating, right? Which are in strong momentum, consolidating on Friday. So on Monday we can expect it to give a strong momentum. And when can we take a trade? Once these levels are taken out. Clear है? अभी तक समझ में आ रहा है? Is the logic clear? Same as consolidation and breakout. Whatever we learned. So now you have to apply your logic in a very simple manner. अभी तक आपने जो भी सीखा है ना, उस सबको आपको एक पेज में we are going to put it down. हमने अभी तक जो भी सीखा है ना, हमको उसको एक पेज में अगर हम रखें, तो you should have a question that why are we even doing this? Why are we even doing this? हम कर क्यों रहे? ठीक है? तो हमने हमारे पहले इनिशियल 5 दिन में क्या क्या सीखा? What did we learn? That if there is a stock which is in a strong momentum, if it is consolidating, right? So what are you going to do? You are either going to mark the support or you're going to mark the resistance, right? And if tomorrow, if the swing high is taken out on a 5 minutes time frame, you take a trade, correct? With the nearest swing as the stop loss. Clear hai? Any doubt on this? This is what we were doing. But can the same be applied by, having a system in place? For example, you know that there is a stock which was consolidating, correct? It's closed over here, correct? Then next day, if the previous day high and the R1 is taken out, or the previous day low and S1 is taken out, you can look for a short trade or a long trade, right? It depends where it opens, right? Also, it depends where it opens. So we'll be discussing that as well, right? I hope अभी तक logic clear है. Are you able to relate? हमने जो पहले सीखा and अभी जो हम बात कर रहे हैं, are you able to relate it? Because only then this would make sense. Otherwise, there is no use. Okay, let's go forward now. So, how to enter is what we are going to discuss now. We are going to use 5 minutes time frame for day trading. Again, we always use what? 5 minutes time frame. Our entry trigger shall be once the zone is taken out on a 5-minute candle closing basis. The candle should give a strong closing above or below the zone. Please don't jump as and when the breakout is done. Be a breakout trader or a retest. जो आपका मर्जी उसमें, whether you are a breakout trader or do you wait, or after the breakout do you wait for a retest? That's completely your choice. ठीक है, आपको इसको कैसे ट्रेड करना है. Correct. So, sorry. So you can now you can also place a buy order at the high of the breakout candle. Like I said, we are going to have a session on different types of order that will be covered over there, right? So let's just do that. Now here the stop loss is pretty simple. Here the stop loss is pretty simple. In this case, we'll keep the stop loss below or above the zone. For example, stop loss होगा, अगर ये एक जोन है, ठीक है, तो इस जोन के नीचे स्टॉप लॉस, ये एक जोन है तो इसके नीचे स्टॉप लॉस. सिंपल है, राइट? द स्टॉप लॉस इज वेरी सिंपल. ऑलवेज कीप सम बफर नियर द जोन, राइट? व्हाट इज द बफर नियर द जोन? मतलब फॉर एग्जांपल, लेट्स से इफ वी नीड द स्टॉक टू ओपन, I'll just take you through this only. This was, let's say, the previous day high over here, correct? Let's say this was your entry pointer over here, entry pointer over here. So your stop loss should be below the zone. Keep some buffer. Don't be like एकदम चिपका के मत रखो, ठीक है? थोड़ा सा स्पेस दो, a little space. How much space in points I cannot say that, but You have to keep some buffer. Is that clear? How to enter into this is again different because you're talking about Bank Nifty. You can apply this on stocks as well, right? Simple logic. जिसको entry system चाहिए था. This is for those who want an entry system. You could have traded the way, you know, swing high, swing low, mark करके also you can trade. You can mark the swing high, swing low, and you can put your stop loss as per that first system that we were discussing from Monday to Friday. This is also a system which you can trade. Very simple, right? No complications over here. Now, again, let's go back. Right. So again, you can use the tool to create your position sizing as well. So we'll just go have a look at that. Yeah. So let's do one thing. Let's go and have a look at what is basically position sizing. So if you know over here, right, now all this you can actually know before the market opens as well. So we'll be discussing that in the CPR session. But as of now, if I know that my stop loss is 100 points, and assume this is not banned, this is any stock, and your risk is 500. So you can use this tool, which is the profit, like, you know, long position or short position, in order to calculate your position sizing. कि आपको कितना खरीदना है या कितना बेचना है, ठीक है, based on the stop loss. Clear? Go back, right? And now this is again Tech Mahindra. So if you see over here, again, this is a better example. Over here, this is all bank Apollo Hospitals. Let's say it was trading inside a range, and then it gives a breakout. Correct? Now here I think there's a mistake, right? At times, you know, there is a breakout over here, right? So you can, you know, put your stop loss either below the zone, or you can use your retracement, the price action knowledge, to keep your stop loss, right? So this way you have got your entry system in place, you've got your stop loss system in place, right? And you can take a trade as and when the range is taken out. So here, one thing you will get, I have a no trading area if I'm a breakout trader, and I have a trading area. That will be pretty much clear. We'll be doing a lot of back testing today as well when I'm talking to you. Again, over here, it's taken out. So over here, tell me one thing. One is you can keep a stop loss over here. What is the next option where you can keep a stop loss? थोड़ा कोई दिमाग लगा के मुझे बता सकता है? चलो जल्दी बताओ. Correct. Who did this? Perfect. Good one, Satyam. Yeah. So this can be your stop loss. Why? Because we have a retracement in place, right? So if there's a retracement, you know, before the levels, we can do that as well. Correct. It works out. So this comes with experience, but अगर इसको आपको rule based करना है, you can keep it very simple. यहाँ मेरा breakdown area, ये मेरा stop loss है, यहाँ breakout है, ये मेरा stop loss है. Simple. समझ में आ रहा है कि नहीं? Whichever is lower, you can follow that. Right. It's very, very simple. Below retracement, U-turn. Yeah, perfect, U-turn. Right. Now, key notes for entry. Now, we are using some rules, correct, to avoid some gap up, gap down openings. The stock should open between PDH and PDL. जो स्टॉक ओपन होगा, अगर ये कल का हाई है और ये कल का लो है, तो आज स्टॉक की जो ओपनिंग है ये होनी चाहिए विद इन previous day high and previous day low. How to trade a stock when it opens above PDH and PDL, right? All the notes where it is applicable. For example, you don't apply this strategy on Nifty. Why? I will tell you. We don't apply this strategy on Nifty. See, the volatility is higher in the first 5 minutes. So avoid trades that give a breakout or a breakdown in the first 5 minutes as a beginner trader. Thoda experience you get, you can trade, because in the first 5 minutes, you also get a very good moves, right? But calculating the position sizing, you know, the SL, you know, taking a trade in the first 5 minutes is always tricky. So as a beginner, right, you can avoid the first 5 minutes. Once you have taken a few trades, you know, 10, 15 trades with the system, you can then take trades in the opening 5 minutes also, right? You can do that with some experience, but ऐसे jump करने की जरूरत नहीं है. For gap up and gap down scenarios, look for N pattern to enter. For gap up and gap down scenarios, look for N pattern to enter. So today we are learning a system, right? अगर आपको अच्छा लगे तो आप इसको करो, आपको discretionary अच्छा लगे तो वो करो. Okay, I have no problem. Correct? Over here. Now, this is the previous day low. This is the previous day high. Should we take a trade over here when the level is taken out? What is the rule? The stock should open within previous day high and previous day low. So we are not going to take a trade over here. Clear है? समझ में आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा है? Let's go and go to next stop. Here also, right over here, avoid a breakout that happens in the first 5-minute candle itself, right? They're very volatile. How to trade it, I will be telling you. Do not here, though even the market opens over here, right? I will be telling you how to trade the first 5-minute candle, right? With experience, yes, you can take it, but initially in the first 10 trades that you take, avoid this. So it's very volatile. Yes, it gives the biggest profits as well, but it is little volatile. Correct? So आप उसको initially avoid कर सकते हो. ठीक है? Now let's move forward. Again over here, this is it was consolidating, right? What you want is in the second candle breaks the range over here, right? Your stop loss is above the zone. I mean above this particular zone. It was consolidating. If you see yesterday, it was a very narrow range, and then there is a breakout and a breakdown. Where to keep the stop loss? Always keep some buffer. Let's go ahead. We'll be doing some back testing as well. Again, this is again Bank Nifty. It gives a breakdown. You get a small stop loss, right? And you can ride the trend. How to ride the trend with options buying, option selling, futures. वो एक अलग सेशन होगा, ठीक है? अभी उसको mix नहीं करना. This is Tech Mahindra again. If you see, like it was uptrend, consolidating, gives a breakdown, right? Over here, this is so again. Remember one thing: you have to use one entry system. Now, this is the time when you're going to get a little confused. Okay, not confused with the system, but confused as to what to do. For this, what is the solution? Your trading plan, the one which you make. You have to follow that. You don't have to trade what you know. You have to trade what you have decided to trade as per your trading plan. Make sure you do that, right? Because this is the time, because the more time we start spending, because the more things we learn, we get a little confused, right? So again, one thing which you should know. Correct. Again, if there is a breakout, if there is a good consolidation with the breakout, that is always a good sign. Correct. If there is a good consolidation, that's always a good sign. So usually when there is a consolidation, you can risk a little higher also. We'll be learning more on that, right? Now, as discussed, PDH, PDL, they are inflection points, right? They either lead to sideways moves or trending moves. Both PDH and PDL, they act as a support and resistance. Right? The logic of fresh levels and multiple retest levels is applicable here also. Very simple. So if you see a lot of, you will see that a lot of time the markets are going to take rejection from here, from these levels of support and demand zones. Correct? This act as a strong supply zone as well. So आपको यहाँ पे rejections भी दिखेंगे. Correct? So a lot of people, what they do is they look for M and W patterns right at the supply zones, right at PDH, PDL. For example, अगर PDH, PDL के ऊपर कोई bullish engulfing है, bearish engulfing है, they look for reversal. But that is again discretionary trading. You can explore that as much as you want. You can back test it. That's completely up to you. Pujita, I will be showing. Please wait for it. Please wait for it. All the examples I will be showing you. We are actually going to go through all of that, right? Here breakdown, but does not sustain. So these, breakout failures are going to happen. So I'll be taking you through, you're going to do your own back testing as well. So you will be telling me the highest losing streak, highest winning streak of the system, and all of that. हम वो करेंगे. Now let's forget everything right over here. How to exit and enter a trade, that is mostly known. What we'll do now is we'll go and move to the. I'm gonna take you to the exit part again. Don't worry, because for exit, you need to know whether you're an options buyer, because the average, because this is not going to work out. Right, what you do in stocks is not going to work out in options, right? It's going to be tricky. For option, what works for options buyer may not work for option seller. So all of that we are going to. So there's no point discussing the exit right now in this case. But remember one thing: when we talk about exits, right? You can use the pivot points as your, for example, R2 and S2. We can use that as an exit point. So I'll just take you through that, right? For example, you can exit as per, if this is your entry trigger over here. If this is your entry trigger, you can use R2, the resistance 2 over here, as your exit trigger. You can use R2 as your exit trigger. Now what we'll do is we'll simply go and have a look at some gap up, gap down scenario. Okay, let's have a look at the gap up, gap down scenarios as well, so that when we do back testing now again, I will give you a raw form of back testing where we are not doing any analysis. We are trading the system as and when it happens. But okay, let's again go back. Now there are two situations when you can trade the opening candle. What did I say in the beginning? The first 5 minutes candle है ना, उसको आप avoid करो, ठीक है? Now there are two situations when you can actually trade the opening candle. First is that the previous day, for the last 2 days, the PDH was already tested multiple times. So in most cases, it will just give an breakout and breakdown without even giving you a chance to enter. And second is if there is a breakout and continuation pattern, which is if there is a gap up opening and then there is a continuation, if there is a gap down opening and there is a continuation. So today we are only talking about trend trading. In the late afternoon session, we'll be talking only about reversals. Clear? So right now again, let's go. Everyone ready? Let's go to the current slide over here. What happens over here? Market opens with a gap up. Market opens with a gap up, that is above PDH. The opening is above PDH. So what are you going to do? You're going to wait for a N pattern. This is the N pattern. So you can take a trade in it, right? And in Bank Nifty, right, retracements can be very costly to keep a SL. So here we'll follow the entry candle low as well, because otherwise stop loss बहुत बड़े हो जाएंगे. ठीक है? Stop loss बहुत बड़े हो जाएंगे. We'll be discussing it in options because you will understand. You'll have to take care of your risk appetite, because if your capital is 20,000, you cannot do day trading in Bank Nifty. You will have to do scalping, right? Because in day trading, the stop loss, minimum stop loss is going to be 1500 rupees, and to risk 1500 on a capital of 20,000 is not a wise thing. So we'll be discussing it later on. Again over here, it breaks down. This is a previous day low. It opens with a gap down and it forms again a N pattern, correct? And then you see some continuation in the fall. So in gap up, gap down scenarios, you are going to use the N pattern, and see if there is a gap up and if there is a gap down, the highest probability is the N pattern, which happens even in stocks. So the alerts which are going to come to so I tell you one thing, at times in a bullish market, there can be 10-15 alerts in a day. So I tell people one thing, ignore everything, only focus on that stock which is opened above previous day high or below previous day low. And if there is a continuation pattern, that stock is going to give you much bigger returns, right? So if a stock opens above PDH, PDL and then gives a continuation pattern, it is going to be much more profit, and it is going to have a high hit rate, almost 75%. ठीक है, 75% आपका hit rate हो जाएगा अगर कोई stock scanner में आता है and if it has opened above PDH, PDL and if then it gives a continuation pattern, right? So that is like the best stock to trade because it has very high hit rate, profitability is going to be high, and more on that again you will experience when the alerts are there. You're going to do your own hard work, right? Now again, before I go to the stock trading with Liga, again one thing which I think I mentioned over here as well is this. Focus over here. Predominantly this is used for Bank Nifty, not for Nifty. Why? Because Nifty is a low beta index. This does not work well in Nifty. Why? Because Nifty, if Nifty has to move, all 50 stocks in Nifty has to give a strong momentum. If Bank Nifty has to move, only the 10 banking stocks have to move. So if there is a good news about banks, all bank stocks will go up or all bank stocks will go down. But Nifty में ऐसा नहीं है. Nifty में metal ऊपर जा रहा है तो IT नीचे खींचेगा, और अगर IT ऊपर जा रहा है तो Bank Nifty will drop it down. Something or the else happens, right? So this does not work in Nifty. ये लिख दो, है ना? This does not work in Nifty. Insider war जो आपने देखा था वो Nifty में भी काम करता है, Bank Nifty में भी काम करता है. Liga does not work in Nifty. I hope this is clear. For stock selection as well, prefer the same method as we used earlier. High beta stocks, RSI indicator 52-week high stocks combined with price action, and फिर entry system के लिए आप इसको use कर सकते हो. अगर आपको traditional way of बेस्ड ऑन वो स्विंग हाई स्विंग लो पसंद नहीं आता है तो जो भी है आपका जो ट्रेडिंग प्लान है आप वो बनाइए आराम से। कल से ट्रेड नहीं करना है, 1-2 हफ्ते का गैप लीजिए, 1-2 हफ्ते कुछ ट्रेड मत करो, ठीक है। ट्राई टू जस्ट लेट एवरीथिंग सिंक इन एंड देन डिसाइड व्हाट यू आर सपोज्ड टू डू। कल परसों एक हफ्ता मत करो ट्रेड, एक ब्रेक ले लो, टेक अ ब्रेक फ्रॉम द स्टॉक मार्केट फॉर 2 weeks to understand the depth of the concepts, to understand what is your style of trading. Clear? But in Bank Nifty, my on my bigger capital, this is the only system which I'm trading for the last 10 months. Nothing else. Right? I'm not traded 9 months. No, sorry, 10 months. Right? January is also ending. So I'm not traded anything else in Bank Nifty. Right? Not even insider bar. Because the capital ऐसा है कि अब ज़्यादा trade नहीं कर सकते. Right? You have, because this system also becomes not just an intraday trading, it also becomes a swing trade. So I'll tell you how we do it a lot. Now again, these are some adjustments which you will understand with time. For example, let me have this thing. Now, first I'll tell you which an indicator which we use. In the indicator section, go click Liga indicator. Right? Click on Liga indicator. Correct? Over here. Now this looks very dirty, right? So what you do, unclick over here. You just want show Liga CPR. इसका मैं आपको वीडियो भेज दूंगा, ठीक है। फिर आपको क्या करना है, सब कुछ अनक्लिक करना है। You want R1 S1, and if you book profits based on pivots, you can have pivots as well, right, on the chart. But as of now, we are not having it, right? So I'm just removing everything. What do you want? You want previous day high and R1. So we are going to have that on the chart, right? So if you see now, our chart has nothing but only previous day high and okay. Just one second. I think we missed out on one part over here. Yeah. So over here, if you see now, we have the PDH PDL, right? PDH PDL over here. This is the previous day high and this is the previous day low. Okay. No, sorry. Just wait. Okay, sorry, missed out on this one. Yeah. Right. So now you have previous day high and R1 and previous day low and S1 on the chart, right? You can use pivots to book the profits, right? I mean the additional R2, S2, that is completely up to you, right? Now this is on the chart. This does not work on Nifty. I've already told you this does not work in Nifty, right? So this is how you have it on the chart. You can have it on the chart like this, and then we plan to take the trades. Now let's go. And I was telling you know that I'm having this losing streak of currently 3. So I'll be explaining you that as well. All of that, right? By the way, what were we discussing? I think I went a little off topic. Can someone please help me with it? We were discussing something apart from this as well. I was or we are on the right track. Yeah. No, for how you can use it for your swing trading also. How you can, you know, play around with it and do some swing trades, right? So what a lot of times we'll be discussing it options as well. So for example, if you want to do swing short-term trading, right? For example, in short-term trading, what we do is that, let's say we enter over here and this particular. So for example, in intraday trading, right? This is your stop loss. And if you're a short-term trader, you remove your stop loss as this. For example, I'll just take you daily time frame. You know that Bank Nifty has broken this bigger range, right? So obviously price action is supreme over here. W pattern ka breakout hai. Next day, if there is a breakout, I will enter over here. So let's go to this day, which is 3rd Jan, right? Let's go to 5 minutes time frame. Called go, right? 3rd Jan. I have the Liga on the chart. So there is a breakout happening, right? There is a breakout happening. There is an N pattern, gap up opening, and N pattern. So this will be my stop loss, which is the previous day low. Correct? Is the initial, and then you can use the same system to trail your stop loss. Alright, sorry, this is the stop loss. I'm so sorry. Previous day low. This is the previous day low, right? So this previous day low is your stop loss. Instead of this lower range being your stop loss, you use this particular range as your stop loss in short-term trading. समझ में आ रहा है? Very simple, right? Very, very simple. For short-term trading, I've not made any such rules, okay? But I'm just explaining you that if there is a breakout on a daily time frame and you want to enter for short-term trading through options, for example, हमको समझ में आ रहा है that this was a resistance. If it is taken out, you can enter over here, right, through PDH R1, and PDL S1 can be your stop loss, right? For short-term trading, you can do that on stocks, correct? So whenever there is a breakdown, for example, if this is a breakdown, so you would have entered over here, correct? And this is a breakout of a strong resistance. So you can use the you can use the same logic to enter into your options trading, short-term trading, everything, right? यहाँ पे एक breakdown था, so this would have taken your stop loss, correct? So if this is also a resistance taken out, this was your stop loss, but it did not work out. So when the markets are choppy, it's not going to work out well, correct? So these are choppy markets in which the system is not going to work out that well. Over here, it would have worked out well, correct? So when the markets are choppy, it won't work out. For example, like I said, surprisingly, Nifty has been more trending than Bank Nifty over the last 1 year. If you look at Nifty, look at the moves in Nifty. It's giving those like really super moves. And if you look at Bank Nifty, itna maja nahi hai Bank Nifty mein. Okay, because Bank Nifty, surprisingly, for the last after the COVID, it has not been very trending, just like Nifty, right? So for Bank Nifty traders, this has been not the best one, but yet Bank Nifty always gives you good returns because the moves are so good. Now again, let's do one thing. We go to Nifty Bank, right? And let's go to the data of, let's say we go to August, right? And we'll just do some back testing and you will realize that if you, but again, the good thing is it is simple. Bad thing is it has its own bad time. And 98% of people, they are going to give up in a bad time. Why? Because they know it's a trading system, but they don't know one thing, which is position sizing. In these 4 trades, they are going to lose their 25, 30, 50% of the capital because they don't manage the position sizing well. And that is when things go wrong. Now let's do one thing. Let's go to Alt Go over here and let's go to, let's say, data of June. Correct, makes sense. Let's go to June if we can, right? So let's go to June if it's possible. We'll go there. Okay, it's not taking it. Correct, we are here, right? So 5th Jan. Okay, let's start with 5th Jan. Correct, we're starting with 5th Jan. Everyone clear? Now, let's go simply with the system as it is. Everyone, right? We've changed it. Okay, sorry. Not change the year. Okay, sorry. Got it. अभी तक आदत ही नहीं पड़ी ऐसा लग रहा है. Right, so let's say we go to this particular. Okay, let's start from here. So let's go over here. Here we have what do you say? This is a sideways day. Here market opens with a gap up, so we'll just ignore it. Market opens with a gap up. This is not our system, right? This is not our system. We ignore it. We're not going to trade it. Let's forget, right? Let's go over here. 3rd Jan over here. We have the entry system in place. The market opens inside the range. Let's zoom in. Right, this is the breakout area, this is your stop loss, and you get decent reward. Like this is your entry, this is your stop loss, you get a decent reward. Market again opens with a gap up over here. Can you see? Market opens with a gap up above PDN, so we'll ignore it. Let's leave it. Okay, again market opens with a gap up, we are leaving it, right? We are not even doing here. I am just taking you, you won't get it on kite, right? So here it opens again with a gap up, but आप इसको manually mark कर सकते हो. You can mark the pivots on the chart and then do PDH, PDL on its own. Again here the market opens with a gap up, so we will ignore it. We will simply ignore it. हम नहीं करेंगे, ठीक है ना? Then let's say there is again a breakout, right over here. Let's say there is a breakdown. Now when you start using a bit of your price action understanding, you will understand a lot. But again, we are not mixing that. Let's say you entered over here. This is your stop loss and your stop loss is taken out. Correct. Your stop loss is taken out. So ignore. This is your stop loss hit. Correct. Here, the first 5-minute candle itself has given a breakdown, right? So we'll just simply ignore it. Leave it. Here also the market opens with a gap up, so we are not trading it. We are not trading it. Again, we are not trading it. Here the market opens within the range. It gives a breakdown. ये आपका entry trigger है, ये आपका SL है, ठीक है, and you get a decent risk to reward. The market also gives a retest and then again a continuation of it. Clear है? अब आप इसको जितना जाओगे आपको और समझ में आ जाएगा सिस्टम, ठीक है. How to exit a trade? Again, that will come in options. But remember one thing, when we are talking about, for example, here it gives a breakdown. This is your stop loss. It gives 1:1 over here. Again, it goes up. It gives a breakdown. Again, you get a very big reward, right? So what we are talking about over here is that, again, everyone focus on one simple thing, that when we are talking about a system, you will have to, when it comes to options, right, we have to do some partial profit booking. So if your risk is 100 rupees and if you're getting a reward of 100 rupees, that trade is successful. We count it as successful. Create. Now, in the beginning, you're going to focus a lot on all this, right? It opens with a gap up, we'll ignore it, right? We're not even taking this trade. Why? Because the stock has opened outside the range. So we're not going to take that trade. Again, let's move down. This is a good trade. Is this trade valid? Everyone, is this trade valid? Stock open kahan pe hua hai? Inside range. It breaks the lower range. Clear? So this is your entry, this is your stop loss. Now for exit, like I've said, you can use pivot, you can use EMA, but all of this using this with options buying is very tricky. ठीक है, तो आपको समझना पड़ेगा वो कैसे होता है. But 1:1 आता है, तो you have to be prepared to take action, right? This over here you took a trade, right? This would have hit the this you take a trade over here, but here your stop loss would have been triggered. Again you get a trade and you would have got a good trade. So this is called as re-entry, right? So again, same system, आपको re-entry मिल रहा है, ठीक है? You can take a trade. Now here it opens with a gap down, we are ignoring, right? Opens with a gap up, we are ignoring, correct? Here it opens with a it opened within the range. It gives a breakout of the range. This is your stop loss, and see the kind of momentum you've got. Think about it. One such good trade, do you need to do anything? Just see what is this trade, okay? Just understand the risk to reward you would have got in this trade, okay? This is your entry trigger, right? And you get a small stop loss below this zone over here, somewhere over here. This is your small stop loss. And I bet this stock has not come below its EMA also. What is the point? 2000 points. What do you think about this trade? Not tricky in buying, tricky in options buying. Options buying, okay? We'll be learning that later on. समझ में आ रहा है what I'm trying to say? System simple है. Here it opens with a gap down, so we are ignoring. We are not trading. Now you may say, but sir, I would have easily caught these big points, right? Because people have this thing, right? I would have easily caught this. For example, this 700 points I would have caught. ठीक है, वो logic सबके दिमाग में आता है. I would have caught this, this high momentum. Yes, in the morning momentum is high. You can grab a lot of trades, but it's very tricky. Over here, it again opens in the range. There is a breakdown, but your stop loss is taken. So no fighting the markets, right? Stop loss आ गया है, छोड़ दो. स्टॉप लॉस आ गया, छोड़ दो. वापस एक ट्रेड मिलता है, वो थोड़ा बहुत रिटर्न दे देता है, बट ठीक है, छोड़ दो, ज्यादा कुछ नहीं करना है. अगर स्टॉप लॉस आ गया तो छोड़ दो. Here again you get a trade. This is your stop loss. You get a decent reward. It opens with a gap down. Ignore, right? Over here you get a trade. It hits your stop loss. Now understand. Now I think it is the month of September. Okay, we are in the month of Feb. Reached Feb also. So that was a budget day. Okay, so we are in 2021. Okay, so how far did we go, man? Here your stop loss is taken out. So let's do one thing. Let's go to the हम यहाँ पे जून में चले जाते हैं ताकि थोड़ा easy हो जाए. बहुत लंबा डेटा हो जाएगा ना, तो और कुछ नहीं. Right. So again here it opens with a gap down, so leave it. Here it opens with a gap down, and you see you get a good risk to reward again. Okay, and you see how these levels act as a very, very strong resistance as well. So if you see market ऊपर जाता है, यहीं से एक bearish pin bar आता है, market goes down, breaks the PDL, gives a retest, and again, like I said, always keep some buffer. Don't keep a very tight stop loss. So आप इसको जितना चाहे आप back test कर लो. Over here, if you see, it gives a breakdown in the opening candle. What did I say? If you see जो example मैंने आपको दिया हुआ है ना, here if you see the previous day low, no, it was tested, like the market closed exactly at the previous day low. And when the market is giving a closing, right? I mean, look at this range. This range is so tight. Now you think the market will give you time when the range is so tight? It does not. Like I said, the opening candle breakout, there are some criteria. अगर आपको experience आ जाता है तब उसको trade करो. Now have a look at this. Now tell me one thing. By understanding little price action that we do, will you ever want to catch something like this? Look at this. These are called as parabolic move. And also look at the price action happening over here. Market reverses from there, from here, right? And look at these candles over here. These are called as parabolic moves. So if you go to our first slide, right, in which in the first day, whenever the market breaks something like with this big green candles, these are called as choppy volatile moments, which we tend to ignore in most cases. Okay. Now let's again go back. Opens with a gap down, we'll ignore it, right? Stays in the range, right? Again, we'll ignore this, right? We'll ignore this. But if you see easy RR, right? Easy RR, simple, wide range, easy RR trades. Okay, we'll ignore this. We'll ignore this. This is also, we are not trading it, right? And we're not trading this, right? Again, here you get a trade. Right now, you may have a question that what if it opens with gap down and comes to PDL? See, you can make your own system out of that, because yes, a lot of time market is going to take support at the previous day low, I mean resistance at the previous day low, and it can fall. But again, that is something systems you can enter, right? Enter over here, look at the kind of RR you get. So I think, do you want me to take more example, or it is more than enough now? You can do your own back testing. You can do your own back. It opens with gap up, ignore, right? Do you want me to take more example, or is this enough? Very simple. See, again, look over here. Opening is inside the range. There is a continuation pattern. This is your stop loss, and just see the reward you get. Look at the trades you will get, right? Over here as well. Market opens, breaks it, and then just see the kind of reward you get, right? Again, over here. Again, the previous day low is taken out. This is your stop loss. You get such good rewards. So again, मतलब आप खुद इसको back test कर सकते हो. ठीक है? I think this is more than enough now. Right. So one thing which you understand is, first of all, the first thing which I ask myself is about any system is, does it scare me of losing the capital? Right? It does not. Second thing, क्या मेरे को ये बार-बार entry signals दे रहा है? Is that the case? So what do you think in the month? How many times do you get trades? Okay, somebody saying gap up, gap down देखना है. We'll see that also. Don't worry. In the month, you will get 6 to 7 trades, right? Average, if you're, agar isme now somebody asked me, how can you improve this system even better? So there is one thing which I personally follow, right? Isme thoda sa discretion aata hai, okay? That's why I don't talk much about it. But let's say, if I know that over the last 2 days, it's consolidating, then next day, as and when there is a breakout, I would enter. So on Monday, I am prepared to take a trade, right? On Monday, I'm prepared to take a trade on Tuesday, because why? Market was consolidating, and today, if there is a breakout breakdown, I can enter directly. Now, let's go to second scenario. Let's go to second scenario. I know that the market is trending. So do you think I'll be prepared for a trending move next day? No, I'm not prepared. Shivam, that I'll say later on. Okay. Okay. Now, so in such cases, what I do is that I add one more confirmation, because I don't want to miss a trade. See, if the market opens with a gap up, I know I can enter with an N pattern. Correct. Because see, again, as a trader, I believe one thing, that it's okay to take a stop loss, but it is not okay to miss a big trade. Now that is one thing, because, you know, see, imagine what if you had missed those 2000 points in Bank Nifty. Don't you think that is one trade which would have basically made up for the next 20 trades you will take? Think logically. As a trend trader, I'm not saying for any scalper. Okay, if you're a scalper, if you enter within 10-20 points, for you it makes sense to, you know, maybe take high probable trades. But if I'm a trend trader, if I'm a momentum trader, for me, missing on a big trade is more costly than taking a SL. So it depends on what kind of a trader you are. So for me, I go with that mindset that, okay, fine, I don't want to miss a trade. So my first intention is, so how do I prepare? So how do I make my system high probable? Plus, I should not miss a trend. Discretionary है, आप आपके लॉजिक के हिसाब से आपको जो करना है कर सकते हो. तो मुझे मालूम है अगर मार्केट ट्रेंडिंग है तो समझो even if it opens within the range and if it gives a breakout, I don't take a trade. What I do is, if then the market gives me a continuation and a breakout, then I take a trade. Because market मुझे क्या बोल रहा है? Even though it is trending, it is still giving a continuation after the breakout. So in such cases, I actually wait for a continuation. So again, ये थोड़ा सा difficult concept है. आपको अभी इसमें घुसना नहीं, मैं वापस explain कर रहा हूँ. For example, in most cases, what do we do? If the market opens inside the range, if it gives the PDH and PDL, I should take a trade. If the market is consolidating, this is the best scenario. Correct. But what if the market is already trending? And do we know that when it can stop the trend? See, don't go by the analysis we do. The analysis we do is just to reach out to more people. I always tell people, हम जो YouTube पे करते हैं, हम वो trade नहीं करते. That is to reach out to more people. What we do on Instagram as analysis is not something that we're going to trade. That is for analysis. Are you getting me? So there, how do you plan a trade? For example, if I know that the market is, I don't know, it's my assumption that tomorrow market may be sideways, but what if it's a big gap up? And what if it's a 1000 points move? Right? I don't want to miss it. So what do I do? Very simple. Now think logically, guys. ठीक है, आराम से सोचो. अगर यहाँ पे गैप अप इस तरह ब्रेकआउट देता है ना, तो मैं क्या करूंगा? I won't enter over here. After breakout, I will look for one more confirmation, which is what? N pattern. So now, in first instance, what was my plan? I won't take a trade tomorrow. Why? Because यहाँ पे trending move था. But this is not like, you know, I am being discretionary, but what if this is a strong momentum? In that case, I would wait for a small retracement and continuation. So I will enter at the nearest high. So ये थोड़ा सा advance है, not something which I can explain very easily, because this comes with a mindset and not with a setup. कुछ चीजें नहीं समझा सकते, and I have to admit this is something which I cannot explain you. You will have to experience it in the live market. I hope this is clear. ठीक है, वो आपके mindset के ऊपर है. अगर आप ये सोचते हो कि मेरा profit booking capacity is 40 points, 30 points, this is not going to work out for you. But if you're a trend trader who likes to capture only big gains and you're okay with a 60% losing rate, right? So, you know, again, I'm going to make a detailed YouTube video where you will realize, you know, what is this losing streak, what it looks like is, कि हम बाद में बात करेंगे इसमें. So again, I cannot explain, Kale, this again something which I cannot explain. You will have to understand this with experience, because ये is not plain vanilla कि अगर breakout हो गया तो ले लो. इसमें आपका end of the day analysis आ जाता है. ठीक है? Because I trade only bank nifty, I have to make sure that I don't miss big moves. Because if I miss big moves, so, well, you know, I won't be able to make the kind of returns that I should, right? So ये मैं आपको और ज़्यादा नहीं समझा सकता हूँ. ये आपको experience करना पड़ेगा live market में. And I am admitting this, that this cannot be explained, right? So any stock, I mean, I'm telling you, know, any stock giving you a breakout or a breakdown from a bigger range, it opens with a gap up and then gives an N pattern. So let's say a stock comes in the alert, it is breaking a high. It comes in the first 920. जो 920 को आपको alert आ जाएगा that this stock has broken its all-time high or 52-week high. And you know, it opens with a gap up above PDH, and then if it gives a continuation, these are very, very high probable patterns. Clear hai? Ab, this was my bit on, I'll just complete just one thing which I wanted to say was insider bar works on Nifty as well as Bank Nifty, but Liga indicator, it does not work on Nifty. It works only on Bank Nifty. I hope this is clear. It works only and only on Bank Nifty. Clear है? इसको आप लिख लो, ठीक है? And let's learn one more thing, gap down. So I'll explain you gap down in detail because I traded a lot of gap downs, right? So let's go to the month of November and December. So probably I will be able to explain you even much better. Agar aap, see, you should now, a lot of people ask me, right, how to know whether you should trade this system or no. If you're okay to take 4 losses in a row, you should trade the system. Agar aapka mindset nahi hai 4 loss lene ka, to aapko ye nahi, fir aap scalping karo. फिर आप स्कैल्पिंग करो, छोटे छोटे प्रॉफिट्स लेके निकलो. For you, then that is the system. So you have to know yourself. right? So let's go to November. I think I'll be able to explain you even much better over there. So why is my mouse not? Hey, can someone solve this? I don't know why my mouse is not moving, and why is the screen not moving so fast? Any reason for this? Okay, refresh. Okay, I mean refresh करने जाएंगे तो this will go. Okay, so let's go back. I'm gonna explain you this in a very easy manner where there is a gap. Okay, perfect. See, look over here. Is a gap down opening, retracement. Right now, I also take some aggressive entries. Right. So all of this, there are some things which as I cannot explain like so many of you together. But again, thoda about if I record a live video, I will be sharing you one of the live trades. Okay, I'll do that if possible. Some concepts which are aggressive entries. Say this is a gap down opening, right? Gap down opening, boom, right? You see good continuation. Now never trade these. Okay, when yesterday was a downtrending market. Okay, when yesterday was a downtrend. Okay, what just happened? You have to refresh it, I guess. No, I mean it's working. It's dragging very slow. I'm so you have so okay. Do you know? I'll tell you something about technology. Me and my relationship with tech. Okay, so I'll be explaining this to you. Don't worry. We will really enjoy the entire thing when we discuss that. But again, I hope you have got a logic. So if we go to just let me just remove everything. Right. If we go to let's forget that there is okay. Right now again guys note one thing over here that what we are looking forward to is again going back to the data of OI वगैरह मैं नहीं देखता हूँ. See, I've been very clear about the OI thing that I don't have a look at OI, right? And frankly, it's not something which works out well. Okay, so now I'm going to take you through December. In December also you'll get a lot of gap down openings, right? In December as well, you will get a lot of gap down openings. Clear? So I'm going to just take you through first of all November months. Right, so November, right? So see over here, this is what I was talking about. Gap down opening and continuation, gap down, continuation, and then a good fall. Right, let's go back over here. There is a gap down, but it's not sustainable. Right, let's again go back. I'll now take you to some examples over here. So now this is now there is a thing about N pattern over here. Correct. Now this was a gap down opening. Over here, this would have taken the stop, right? But remember one thing: what is a strong N pattern? Can you think what should a retracement look like? A retracement should not be like where it comes near the day high. Retracement is something which is like this. It's not something which is like this. This is like a W pattern, right? Here, see the buyers were able to go until day high, which is not a good sign for the bears, right? Again, let's go back. Look at this gap down opening, right? Gap down opening, continuation. See, when you are not prepared, see, yesterday was a trend. What did I tell you? Now, I have got a live example to explain you. Yesterday was a trending day. Next day, I was prepared that I don't want to take the trade if there is a PDL-S1. But what happens? Market is telling me it's going down and it's forming a continuation pattern. In such cases, we take this trade. Okay. Again, see, again, a gap down for opening, continuation, and you get a trade. Right there, it's a green candle, so it does not matter. Now I'll take you to this thing, December. This is okay. So in December only we discussed a lot of examples, right? This is nothing but your gap up opening trades, right? This is gap up opening trades. These are again gap up opening trades. All of it, right? Don't worry. These are again, you will get it with time. So I hope I've been able to take you through what the system exactly is, right? Yeah, that's it, guys. So this is how gaps के बारे में क्या बताऊं? option selling, option buying, everything can be done. So I prefer to place a limit order, right? But I would recommend कि आप आपको जो better लगे, because there is post market adjustments, right? So this was Liga and pivot में कोई difference नहीं, it is the same thing. Vishal, what can you please ask your question again? No, gap filling is not something which I cover in the sessions, right? I don't want to confuse everyone, right? So we are not going to discuss. अगर आपको gap filling के बारे में जानना है तो you can call me. I'll explain you. We are using Liga. I will be explaining you, Dhruv, when we have the option selling sessions. I will be on the option sessions. I will be explaining you, right? But if you just do one thing, see, कोई भी system है ना, सीखना बहुत आसान है. आपने सीख लिया. But what do you think? How many people can actually do it? आप 160 लोग हो ना यहाँ पे. अभी कितने लोग हैं? 170, right? 4 maximum losing streak for Liga is 4. Win rate is 7. How many of you can do it? अभी hand raise करने वाले first week में होते हैं 100 लोग. I'm telling you, 170 are attending. In the second week, in the second weekend which we do, only 140 people are going to attend. And if I do a session on third week, only 100 people are going to attend. I know this, human nature. Why are we doing? Why are we trying to do max things in the first week? Because I know first week ही है जहाँ पे आप सब active होंगे, इसमें जोश होगा. Third week, 50% of you are any which way is going to get tired. And I'm telling you, only 10 people from this particular people who are attending over here, they'll be able to do it consistently. And ये bet लिख लो, आपका जो नाम है ना, मेरे पास सबका contact list है, Excel में data है. Only 10 people of you will be able to take 10 trades with one system, which is this system. आप bet ले लो, and if we have 11 people doing it, I do an advanced workshop which is on options, selling. I'll do it for free for all of you. I won't charge a single penny, for which I charge 25,000 per person, which is my offline thing. And I bet not more than 10 people from this batch will be able to, because this is my experience. Because लोगों को simple चीज करनी आती नहीं है. You do paper trading. Even in paper trading, people can't do it for 10 days. 10% of you, even if 17 people from this batch, right? If you are able to do this particular one thing consistently, right? I will do a free, I won't charge even any single person of you for the option selling advanced workshop we do. Obviously, for which the capital required is also 10 lakh. Right? So this is, मैं आपको मतलब experience के साथ बोल रहा हूँ, and I'm telling you with lot of confidence that this is how. I don't know, Rishabh. I don't know what is Fibonacci. I only know traditional. Right? So this was an entire system. If you want, we can do CPR. Will be having the next session in the afternoon is on CPR at 2 p.m. So I think the discussion went on. Good to see all of you sustaining this 2 hours of grilling. So RR Madan will be discussing in the option session. Does not make sense to discuss now, right? So now what we'll do is, guys, I think even I should have lunch. You also have lunch. We'll be taking the doubts at 2 p.m. Right? At 2 p.m. we are meeting again. We'll do the CPR trading, right? But before I do the CPR trading, those who have doubts, you can join at 1:30 p.m. Session will start at 2 p.m. I'll be sharing the link, right? I will inform you, right? So those 1:45, let's do it 1:45. I'll be sharing the link. We'll start at 2 p.m. At 1:45, we'll take the doubt solving session. मैं भी जाके lunch कर लेता हूँ. Let's meet at 2 p.m. because 90% of the learning ends today. PPT is being shared. Do not worry. Okay? It will be shared. Okay? अब हम next session is on CPR. So again, things are going to get little complicated. जब भी हम कुछ नया सीखते हैं ना, it does not become easy. It becomes complicated. Remember that, right? You can add EMA and price action. Okay. So with that note, guys, thank you so much. I will see you at 1:45. The recording will be shared with you in the evening. Thank you so much, guys.